plus hot topics of the week. Also, remember to follow us on Twitter at KMega4.
My Google Chrome is yellow. My background is cyberpunk, so I'm liking it so far.
But don't forget,
Ladies and gentlemen, she said
you,
she likes cyberpunk.
you better
on
you
her
better add
Windows
that Explorer on there
11.
so you can get your
All
rewards
right, man,
points.
still talking. We're live.
Oh yeah.
We're live.
Yeah.
We're live.
You know, you're supposed to announce that when it starts, dude. You're supposed to let us know.
You know I always do this.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I'm not here. I'm just my second week being early. Leave me alone.
Whatever. Anyway, welcome to the GRG podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Ham Solo will be coming here shortly. He said he was eating with the family. I hope he gets a real good dinner because the debate tonight will be extraordinary. I plan winning that debate, but we'll see. I can't wait what everybody else on the panel has to say about, of course, what everybody's been talking about. That is Starfield and Sky. What is that? Redfall? Yeah, Redfall. Got delayed. So I've made my posted how I felt about it. I'm definitely going to address it. For the first time, though, I will, when we get to it, I'm going to have a rant, and I'm going to let everybody else finish up because I feel that confident in what I have to say. If anybody has a different opinion on, seeing it this point of view. Now, we'll see. But we got plenty of stuff to talk about tonight. Panel right now, our X-Man on time. What's happening with you, bro? What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. Just been doing a lot of stuff around the house with my off day, and finally got some time to sit down and enjoy my Xbox One X.
Mm.
And been playing Shadow Warriors on it, man. Scrumptious.
See?
That HDR and that 4K, baby.
See? I told you wasn't gonna be talking about them three screens there for a minute.
I play Shadow. I'm gonna buy the game also for my PC too, dude. They just had a sale and I had to grab it. And finally got yeah, I'm good. Let's go. That's
All
it.
right, let's get it. And welcome back, D. What's happening with you? How you been? You know what I'm saying? Ready for tonight? Because I cannot wait. Because even when I was seeing what you was posting, I haven't seen you posting anything about the gaming stuff, about kind of like everything else. So I can't wait to get your thoughts about this. But how you been?
I've been okay. Just kind of just taking it easy. Work's been kind of kicking my ass a little bit, but I've been alright. I'm just trying to keep my stress levels down with everything I have going on. So it's good to kind of be able to relax for the weekend and just chill.
That got to take it easy. Do what we have to do, and I apologize. Hopefully, I don't sound too low. I will gonna probably hold this mic up to my mouth this whole damn time tonight. It is okay though. So remember, I had those issues before, and then got them fixed. Now the story on my end. Oh yeah, no, I see him solo in here, and then I'll explain my story. Well, might as well explain my story right now, quick. So Sunday night, me and Yobi was having a great fight night, and so I was recording the fight because of course I was having issues like I did last week with the streaming situation, and so I went and got everything. I went to go check and get the stream and put it up on YouTube or whatever because it was a really really fun fight night, right? And so it was gone. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And so I was looking and reading in the insiders or whatever, and then they were saying that there was some issues with this and that. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get out of the Windows insiders. But the only way that you can get out of it is if you erase everything. So you got to pretty much nuke all your settings and everything and just pretty much, well, you can keep your settings, but everything else is gone. So you got to start all over from scratch again. So that's what I had to be doing this week. It's, it was a challenge. But of course, you know what I'm saying, I got it done. I got to give props to Don because he kept some of the assets for my OBS, and so I was like, oh snap, thank goodness, because that stuff got erased too. So it was a mess. But we're here, we're live, and it looks like the stream is going pretty good. So I hate that I sound low, but if I sound better or loud enough, let's go. Anyway, Ham Solo, what's going on with you, brother?
Just kicking it. How's everybody doing?
Don't be coming in here talking all low, and I hope you got a good dinner because I'm going to work you out. You know what I'm saying? With these especially with that one topic, you about to get this work. You about to get some of this debate, K-Meg. I cannot wait. I've been itching at the bit to get. You
mean you're coming in with Band-Aids, nice and warm, nice and lukewarm. You coming up to bandage it?
Yeah.
You about to put the caution tape around?
I mean, if that's what I need to wrap you up, I mean, you know what I'm saying? We cool. So I don't want to, I ain't here to take you fully out, but I'm just going to knock you down a couple of times.
Hey, Ham. Just going to sit around like the FBI. Oh, yeah.
Tell him.
Nothing to see here, y'all.
Tell him who had the better outro last week.
Hey, Sir X, man. Sir X, man, hit him with the smooth exit.
Man, and I heard what you said. Saying
that I was hoping you did.
I heard everything. That sucked. But yeah, no, that when the mic went out, that's when I was like, oh my God, this is disaster. But anyway.
Just helping you out, brother.
You did. All. I appreciate it though. I really do. All right.
I've never done that
some
before.
shade your way.
So that was actually fun, man.
Yeah, that was good. I might, you know what? I think I might do that. Sometimes, like
ask them what they play before you
have a member, have a panel member do the outros. So you know what I'm saying. I think I might do that tonight. So tonight we'll have somebody else do the outro. So
Oh Lord.
So yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. Let's do that.
Not me. I don't want to do that. That is K Megas.
Then here you go. Okay, so we're gonna have you doing the outros tonight. All right. So anyway, let's get on to the topics, man. We don't got that many topics, but what we gotta say is gonna probably be plentiful. So let's get to it. First, start off light. Let's talk about Gotham Knights. I seen the gameplay trailer the other day. I myself, I thought it looked cool. I mean, there was, I think Red Hood looked a little stiff, but I think that's also part of because he's a tank character, and so therefore he's going to be a little gimpy a little bit. The game is not officially out yet, so they got a couple of work. They got some things to do, but I think I'm hyped for it. But I got to find out what you guys think, and people on the panel, let me know what you guys think. So let's go ahead and straight go to D. Did you get a chance to see the Gotham Knights gameplay trailer? What was your thoughts about it?
I got to see it briefly, and it looks like a game that I personally will probably get more enjoyment playing it than watching it. So I don't have it didn't get me hype, long story short. But there's nothing that's coming out or supposed to be coming out that makes me want to pre-order anything. But it was nice to see that there was some more gameplay. It didn't look like the gameplay that we saw previously with Batgirl riding on the bike and like the lightning, which was a little bit more dramatic. But I'm glad they showed something. It's still a work in progress. But I'm hoping to see more, a little bit more in depth of how things work, and just something a little bit more engaging. But again, it could be a game where me watching it doesn't really do anything as far as it's just one of those things where it's just like I gotta get my hands on it, I gotta see how it feels. So that was pretty much it. I was surprised they announced, with it being a work in progress, that the collector's edition is like $300. That was a little steep to me, but it kind of makes sense.
Damn, how much?
Yeah, it's 300. And I want to say it's the deluxe edition plus statues of multiple characters. Like it's a thing where it has like all the characters on it. And again, I didn't see much that was in it, so don't make me lie. But I did see that it was $299. So that was kind of steep to me for it to be still a work in progress. But it is what it is. That seems to be the going price nowadays for collectors. $250 to $300, but we'll see how it goes. I hope it's successful at the end of the day, to be honest. And I was glad to see that they dropped the previous generation, which some people are like, some people are still on those systems, and I completely understand. But I'm glad that they're focusing on polishing it for the current generation systems. Because, I mean, we're getting to the 2-year mark, so it kind of makes sense. I just hope it turns out, to the expectations of those who are hyped for it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, no, I mean, so, but you are going to get the game though. So you want to get your hands on it.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to get it.
Oh, okay.
That's not it. I mean, it's a game that I was looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I wasn't aware that it was more of an RPG. So I have some slight reservations. Especially I saw some gameplay where an enemy was defeated and there were like 4 different types of things dropped. I don't know if it was currency. I don't know. It just kind of put me on pause a little bit because I love the Batman Arkham series, played all the games except Origins. So I'm just gonna wait. I think there are a couple people that I'm, close with that are going to be getting it, so I'll wait for what they say about it. I'm not going to be looking like for IGN and whoever else reviews. So, if anybody that I game share with is like, yo, I bought it, then maybe. but I'm very trigger shy when it comes to buying games. And I haven't really bought, unless it's like an indie title. I'll buy an indie title all day. But like these $60, $70 joints, because I want to say this game is $70. So that put me on notice as well. Like I'm definitely not getting this shit day one for $70. Definitely waiting.
70. Okay.
It's starting at 70. So it's 70. Then I want to say the deluxe is 89. I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong, but I want to say it's that, and then the special edition is 300. So I'm definitely being cautious with the monies because I'm not trying to pay 70, and especially with it being an October release. To be honest, because what we're not gonna do is pay $74.59, and by November that shit is $35 for Black Friday. We're not doing that. So
right.
I'm definitely more cautious after Cyberpunk and Watch Dogs. Like I don't buy anything full price anymore.
Right. Sir X Man in the chat, appreciate it, man. I mean, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I was just gonna say that, like, hit the like and the share button. Yeah, go ahead and share this out, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, the super chat works. So really do appreciate it. And he says, everyone, let's go. GRG is in effect. It damn sure is. We are here. $70. See, I guess this is where I'm a little nervous about going forward, because I know Xbox is said that they don't really want their games to go to that price. But I feel because of the pressures of everybody in the industry is going to do it, that Xbox is eventually going to do it as well. I don't know. It just, like, for deluxe and ultimate editions, I mean, I don't know. It feels different. I'll go ahead and cop those, but for just a regular game, $70. Oof, I don't know. I'm kind of feel you on that. But okay, let's move on and see what Ham Solo thinks about the Gotham Knights. Man, was you excited about the game trailer? Did it get you to want to go ahead and get this game day one?
I feel the same way about that game as I did Outriders, where it's like, this is cool, but okay. Like, it's not like a day one for me by any means. It's not. I'm pretty excited to try it out. It looks really cool. Looks like a multiplayer fun game that's right in my alley. But depending on the release time, it might not be something I'm running out to get. What was the release date for that?
October 25th.
October 25th. I mean, with Starfield being pushed back and Redfall, he might have to.
Yeah, I mean, Call of Duty's going to be around that time, October 25th and November 10th, somewhere between.
But for me, that's one of those games that, like, I don't have to buy, and if it showed up in Game Pass, I wouldn't be tripping. I wouldn't be like, oh man, gotta buy it. It'd be like, I'll play it in Game Pass and then see if I want to buy it. But if it doesn't come to Game Pass, then I'll just have to take everybody's word for it for a little bit. My plan is to at least give it a month of just like seeing what the reaction is, watching a few videos, because sometimes, especially as of lately, sometimes I buy a game that I do not want to come back and play at all. I did that with what's that game? Watch Dogs Legion.
Oh yeah.
And I also did that with Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I dropped $90 on Tiny Tina Wonderland because I was like, oh man, if this is like Borderlands 3, I'm gonna get in and really get my hands dirty. And it just like I don't know, like some people really like the jokes and everything in that game, and for me it just felt too childish for me. Like, just not enough doom and gloom like the Borderlands that I really enjoy. Like, people are dying in Borderlands, 1, 2, and 3, but in Wonderland, it's just like it literally is just a board game, and it's just so random and jokes supposed to be funny, but it's just not to me.
Yeah, see, I've seen people. I don't know. Yeah, I had that same thought process about it because I do like Tiny Tina in the actual games, other games, but I don't know how I would feel about that whole it's her whole game, and so that's why I held off. And it was the same thing with the Dying Light 2, because I was going to get Dying Light 2, but then I went ahead and got Elden Ring instead. So, and I said, oh, I'll pick it up later. But then I'm seeing people saying it was buggy and things like that. I don't know if it's fixed or not, but Tiny Tina was on that list, and it's something about it that I'm not. I have my, I don't know, and because I really enjoyed the hell out of Borderlands 3. Matter of fact, um, I'm gonna get the rest of those seats. I could go back and I can play those. They got them on sale right now. Xbox, or maybe
I will say that the use of magic in Tiny Tina's is pretty cool. Like, I'll give it that. But what I don't really like that much is like when you're making your own character, it feels like your character after you make it is like has like no real identity. You're just running around with a character that you made, but they don't really. It just feels like a costume. And I don't know. It's just the attachment rate, the attachment feeling to that isn't there. And then let's see. Another thing that really just wasn't it was, like I said, just the jokes and stuff. Like there's this part where you walk up to a gate, and this isn't gonna like screw up the story at all. There's this part where you walk up to the gate, and this woman just keeps calling you like a cutie idiot, and I'm just like, what kind of childish? Like, she's like, you can't get me, you cutie idiot, and I'm just like, oh my god, like. This is just not my style of Borderlands.
That's funny. Okay. Well, I mean, that doesn't sound funny, but it's funny the fact that I could just see you rolling your eyes and I could be doing the same thing because if it's like that, but it is what it is. I don't know. I'll definitely give it a shot later on sale or what.
Yeah, you might like it.
Yeah.
And especially if it's on a really good sale, then it might feel worth playing. But $70?
Ooh, no.
Hell no. And I paid $90 for it.
Oof.
So like that, so that's why I'm saying, like, going back to the subject of Gotham Knights, that's why I'm not in a hurry. Because we're getting kind of mixed feelings. Well, at least the community is getting a lot of mixed feelings for this game, and I kind of am not like blown away by it. And I wasn't blown away by Tiny Tina's either, and I still dove into that pot and got burned. So I'm definitely kind of I got my wall up now, I guess, a little bit.
I feel you on it. I mean, like, yeah, it's going back to what we were kind of saying in days past of just how like that 70, some about that extra $10 that I mean, people would do this already with $60 games, but with that extra $10, it makes people even hold their wallets a little bit tighter. Like, no, I don't know. It's just I don't know. It sounds like I mean that's only $30 away from $100 for a game. I don't know. It's just different. I don't
Oh,
know.
when tax kick in, it's gonna bring it up to about 80.
Well, yeah. With some places it probably will. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but you'll be.
Oh, it's like $90 in Canada.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
that's nuts. I don't know. Also, before I go to Sir X Man and get his thoughts about it, I do have to say too is that I have to start all over with my gameplay. I only got 2 things of gameplay. I've had 2 full what you call it of gameplay, and because of how I had to do everything, I had to erase it.
You need
So
to
I
get
only
an
got
external hard drive for
I
your
do.
video
That's what
clip.
I'm saying. I got 3 external hard drives, but I had 2 dedicated to gameplay. But because of some of the things that I needed to utilize and put into other places, I had to erase all of it. So it was
Wow.
so I only got this, and I got another one, and then whatever Xbox
Wow.
got, and then I think whatever Don got to my gameplay. So that's it. So I got to start all over again. But all right, Sir X-Men, what is your thoughts about the Gotham Knight trailer, man?
It looked good, but it's not my style, man. I'm being honest, it's just not my style of gameplay. I played a little bit of the Gotham Knights back in the day. Just it wasn't my feel, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna like it. Looks good. Give them time to polish it up a little bit more. I think it does need more graphical overhaul. But other than that, it's not my style, and I hope everybody likes it that gets it. That's about it. Being real.
That's it. That's it. That's all you got to say, huh?
Yeah, it's just
Now,
it's not my
all
style of
other
game.
times, you just want to be short with it. Okay.
I'm just being real. That one ain't my style, dude. That's all.
Really? So you didn't like the other Batmans?
They were good and fun, but I was running in that situation where I didn't have time,
Oh
you
yeah.
know? So, yeah, you know what that's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
You
I
used to
definitely.
know.
I used to. Yeah. No. So I totally get that, but I will say, like, I've seen people that were knocking like Nightwing's like attacks because he was doing the slide thing. But if you look at if you go and play the old Batman games, Arkham Knights game, Batman does the same type of like slide mechanics. I think the cape is kind of like a distraction piece to where you don't really notice that you're doing that same type of sliding mechanic to go back and forth when you do your combat. So I didn't really have a problem with that because I knew it, I was aware of it from the beginning, but I seen people that was knocking it for it. There was other people saying that the game didn't look polished. And I mean, like, okay, like there was a car that came around the corner or whatever, and it didn't look totally you know, detailed. But everything else when it came to the city looked absolutely gorgeous. And then like the atmosphere, the smoke, the reflections of the water puddles, things like that. I don't know. I thought it was really dope. I thought that the Nightwing thing, and then also the customization myself. I'm like, oh, okay. So this and the Harry Potter game, man, I look like I'm going to be trying to cop both, but you know, both of them are going to be $70. That's what's crazy. So I have to be looking for some. I have to be using some of those game Game Pass face bucks. So get those ready to go. But anyway, other than that, yeah, well, if that's everybody's thoughts about it, okay, cool. All right, so let's go to something else light, and then we get into the big stuff. And that is Microsoft is planning for a Xbox S external disk drive. Now I don't know who all has an S. I know I have an S. E, do you have an Xbox One S?
No, I have the X.
Okay. Sir X-Man, you just got the X. What about you, Ham Solo? Do you got the S? Then I must have got to his X. Anyway, so, but I think this is a good look overall. I don't know.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I got a Series X
okay.
and a One X and all that. I got too many Xboxes in my house. I just don't have, the only Xbox I don't have right now is a Series S. That's literally the only Xbox I don't have.
Well, that's what I was talking about, the Series S. Yeah, do you have a Series? I have a Series S. You just got out.
No, okay. Literally every other one though I have.
Okay, all right, but yeah, no, I think this is a cool ass peripheral. I mean, myself, I don't need it because like the S is in, and you know, and really my wife just not a gamer like that, so she watching shows and stuff like that, but so she can watch all the movies that she wants, stuff like that through digital. And like neither one of us is one of those people that have to watch movies off of a disc because you know it's supposed to look better, get better. So it's not that big of a deal for me. But
actually, they do look better with
Oh
the
yeah,
disc.
no, I know they do.
Oh
I'm not saying
yeah.
that, but I'm just saying like I don't. My wife don't care. So like if the movie looks good enough for us, we fine. Like
Oh, I
I
care. That's why I waited for the X, man, because I didn't want a diskless system.
oh well, yeah,
Yeah.
right there in front of me, and I think I've used only time that I've used the disc drive is only for the older games. That's it. I think I tried it out to watch a movie, um, and it looked good, but that was it. There wasn't no big deal. But I think that's a really cool gadget. So let me go ahead and go to you, Sir X Man. What do you think about this thing that Xbox is going to be working on to give an external disk drive? That kind of takes it back to the
Are they
360
gonna
days.
make it proprietary, or are they gonna have you do your own? That's the question. Because that's uh that would be a Blu-ray drive, and if you had to go out and get a external Blu-ray drive, that's like what, about 70, 80 bucks, $90?
That part,
So
I'm
see,
sure it's going to be probably. I'm sure it's going to be going to be
proprietary.
4K. Yeah, doubt
Uh,
about it. What's going on with you, Level One Gaming? Long time no see. Glad that you could stop by. Happening.
that that
Have
could
you
be
on the show
expensive
sometime, man?
though.
What'd you say?
That could be expensive though.
I don't
A
think
Blu-ray,
so, man.
a
I don't.
4K Blu-ray drive. That's not. Have you looked and seen how much they cost
But yeah, I
for an
don't.
external?
Yeah, but I just don't see everything screams portability for for the One S for the Series S. So to come out and say, well, come and get this $200 refuel, I just don't see people even investing in. So you would
As
think that it would be anywhere between maybe 100, maybe 50.
Not
But
will it be that, or will it also be for you to verify like a game that you might want the disc for, and then you get the download on your console?
well, they're working on. They talked about that too. But this is for I'm sure this is for Blu-ray and it's definitely for games as well because we've been asking for. I
Uh,
also seen an article that I was going to want to talk about it, but I was like, I'll say that for next week, where they were uh, working on that aspect. We'll be talking about the DRM stuff here later on tonight. So definitely, I definitely
But
understand.
yeah, because it could just be used for verification. That's all. Yeah.
All right, John Wolf, man, appreciate it, man, appreciate it. What's going on? He said, just passing to say, what's up, Kay, and the panel. Hope you all have a great weekend, and even though Microsoft needs a spanking today, still great future ahead. Yeah, we will definitely talk about that. We will definitely talk about that.
Oh
That's fine.
Lord.
I can't wait. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
yeah. We gonna
Thank
talk
you,
about
Sir
that.
John.
We're gonna talk about this next after we get done talking about this situation. So if you have a little bit more time, John, you'll get to hear what I got to say, and then we'll hear what the rest of the panel has to say.
You might have put money in your pocket, but he put extra life on my bar.
That's okay. You're gonna need as many bars as possible when I'm done with you. So
That's all right.
He's
that's
paying for your
fine.
bar tab.
I got a mage build, and I just got a crazy amount. I got a crazy amount of magic for you, bro.
All right.
Y'all talk about Elden Ring again?
No.
I just checking.
But what else did you think about it, Sir X Man? More of a so you think the price point might be a little bit high, but you just think really it's all about the digital, for digital games only to just make games to where people can use discs and not really a 4K Blu-ray player.
No, I think they'll make it a 4K Blu-ray player.
Okay.
But if it's Microsoft, you get a better discounter and save people more money if you just started putting it in the S. There's room in there. I've seen it on the inside, so they could actually make one with a disk drive if they want to. So you never know. Maybe
What
they're
about
just trying to see if they can. Maybe they're just trying to see if they can implement it and give people an option right now until maybe later on a year or so they decide to throw it into the system to see the demand for it for the S. It could happen.
it definitely could happen. I think it would be I don't know if it would be a hot seller. Because I think if people already are content with digital, I don't know if they would want to go ahead and invest into anything else unless they are a person that has a lot of, or if they're one of those people
Has a
buying
lot
discount.
of Blu-ray movies.
Oh yeah, or Blu-ray movies. Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know. So that those only people they'll get, but I think for the most, I mean, they could do it as a bundle, and but I don't know. What is your thoughts, Ham Solo?
Well, I was reading that article and it was talking about even using your other Xboxes possibly to like read whether you own that game or not.
Ain't it?
Like saying that it isn't like counted out. Like you could possibly use an Xbox One and to say, yeah, I own this game, maybe on the same network or something like that, to possibly be able to play it on your Series S, which I thought was kind of a cool idea. So like if you own that previous Xbox, it won't just be sitting there getting dusty if you have a Series S.
Right. That's
Well, here's a thought. Like real quick, sorry about that. Like Voodoo, right? If you have the game the digital the movie and you have the case for it, you can pay a cheap price, scan the barcode, right? And it verifies it, then it gives you the DRM to download your disc, get the digital download for it. So they might be able to do something like that where, okay, if you have the previous system, here's like $2-3 for you to pay for your DRM right. You just have to put the disc in and then go verify it. You know
The
what I'm
thing,
saying?
yeah, I hear what you're saying. The thing about that is, like, as soon as something like this drops, people that want to take advantage and try to buy games and sell games right away are gonna find some weird way to ruin this a little bit.
That
So
is
I'm
true.
thinking they're going to have to like do some sort of thing where like you have to check in on it like every couple of days, or the disc has to be in that other console and set on like that's why I think it'd be probably the Xbox One, because you can have it on instant on to where it's not really on but it's on, and it has that disc in it, and it can just kind of communicate back and forth from the other Xbox and say, hey, yeah, that's in, and like it needs to check every few hours or few days or something like that. But that would be, to me, the only way.
But if you upgrade, then there's the problem. You won't be able to do that anymore.
What do you mean if you upgrade?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Say someone doesn't have the newer console yet, and they still and they upgrade and they trade in their older console. How are they going to do the verification with the previous?
Well, you can't. Well, you can't unless you get like some sort of like either third party device, or if Xbox decides to create a device. Yeah, but like that's kind of the whole point of them wanting you to keep that other console,
right,
kind of like circulating and still being in use. I mean, they have that possibly coming for the Xbox One. They got the Xbox One in cloud, so you can play Series X games on the Xbox One. So I feel like they're doing the best that they can to kind of at least keep it living, even though they're not making them anymore.
right, and I think everything that's going to start going to the cloud anyway. Like, I mean, just take a look at what they're doing with Nintendo. There's some of those third-party games that's through the cloud. That's a third-party game. That's through the cloud. That's on the Switch. So you got I know that we're talking about like a peripheral, how it will read that, but I think how they'll probably do checks is like how loud, going by your account, things like that. I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, I still feel like a person probably wouldn't want to upgrade to if they already might. But if they have if they already got like a
A
S,
standalone.
yeah, if they got an S or if they got a 1X or something like that, then they already got a disc. So then the only thing that they would probably want is try to get. It's a really complex thing, but yeah, you're absolutely right, Ham. So there will be ways that people try to manipulate. There's no fail safe to where they hold that peripheral. I'm thinking maybe.
To me, that's the only fail safe because you can already pretty much download any game without even owning it.
Right.
You just can't play it unless you have the license. And I think if you throw that disc into another place and they make it to where, like,
it's read only for their system.
And you know this could go back to this could possibly suck if it has anything to do with the home console thing, because if you share a home console with somebody else,
it's not going to work.
It might not work. Well, you know what I mean? So like if it's so if you have to set your Xbox One to the home console to be able to stream it over to your Series S, that would suck for people that share games.
We heard about the rumor about the family plan. Maybe that's that situation. Because I mean, we'll get. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I don't know how far this thing is out, but I mean, it looks like from what we've talked about with the family plan, might be something out there announced coming here somewhere sometime. And then if they do decide to bring that peripheral sometime at the end of the year or next year, and that family plan, that could be the work through instead of doing the way that all of the game sharing. So I don't know. We'll see. It sounds complex as hell. So I mean, it's like they got some more ducks in a row to put together before.
Yeah, I know some people that have an S. A few people that got an S, and they do wish it had a disc drive, because I saw a couple of my friends in their Blu-ray collection that they loved when they had the regular the Xbox S and the Xbox One X, and then they upgraded to an S. They said they missed their Blu-ray drive, they missed their disc drive, so they could watch their movies.
Well, D, what's your thoughts about this? This be something that you would think that would jump on?
I don't think so. I don't think it'll be something that's going to cause a big stir. I feel like some people have potentially. I think people have embraced the digital game style, but some people might say, if it's available to me, I'll give it a try, which nothing is wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with having choices and utilizing said choices. But I don't think it's going to be like a revolutionary peripheral. I think it's just going to be one that's available, similar to the chat pads, things like that. So I don't think it's going to make a lot of splash, but it's always good to have options.
Right,
that's always good.
That's the beautiful thing about it. I think it's a great optional piece, but I don't think that something that's going. I do agree with what Sir X-Man said. Is that I know that there's people movie collection and probably would love to have drive, but got to deal with a $300 play, especially now that phase to where they're starting to phase out the old. Yeah, no. But I think over time it would be something that or whatever.
Well, do you think this is
movies though, okay, Mega? A lot of people out there still buy Blu-rays and DVDs.
No, you're right.
I mean,
I
know that, but I mean, but there's more people I think out there in the wild that just watch, streaming like that. So that's why I don't feel that it would gravitate like that because, or I think to a consensus that there'll be more people that watches, digital content like Netflix and Disney Plus and Hulu and all of that stuff, and people. There's a lot of people don't really care that much about what kind of television they got as long, something that will give them a better picture than what their older television.
I was watching a Blu-ray disc today, and that's why I told you I waited because I got a lot of movies. And sometimes I don't like streaming it. I like just going direct to direct, man. And a lot of people out there are like that. The disc is not dead. It might be dead for gaming, but it's not dead for media, movie media. People still buy the regular disc.
Right.
I'm
No, I
just
mean,
being real.
well, no, and I mean just older games. I mean, like Wolf is making a good point, and then I see C-Mac in there talking crazy. Man, we was having a good time at Fight Night, bro. I hate that you couldn't watch the stream. But he's over here being on his PlayStation ways, bastard. Anyway, he said
Hell
I said
no.
love drinking Xbox tears in the evening. Look, man, there ain't gonna be no tears here. We're gonna get into this next topic, man. There ain't gonna be no tears. You know what I'm saying? You just enjoy what I gotta say. Don't preach the gospel tonight. Um, but right, one of those where I know that people don't mind having, but I just don't know if it's a peripheral kick off. And then I also see
No,
somebody
it's
that,
not gonna blow up like
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
though.
it's not
But
gonna
just
blow up.
giving like Microsoft to
Yeah.
give people options. And that's one thing I love about this company.
Oh
They
yeah,
give
no.
people
They
options.
give people options. Now John Wolf was making a point about like the older games, the 50 cents Blood in the Sand. Like, okay, I bought Pure not too long ago, and that's only in disc. And then like for the Batman, the one Batman game that Rocksteady, that game you have to buy for it. There's a couple of games out there that you have to buy. Those for those people, yeah, no, that would be the best option of get that if you still have some library, go back and buy some of the older games for that.
Hey, look what Sleepy said.
What does Sleepy say?
He believes me. He said, Sir X Man, no joke. I'm not searching through 7 different streaming platforms to watch an old movie. I'm just pop it in.
Yeah, he says, yeah. I
Yep.
mean, no, I get it. It's convenient. I don't know. I think um, you know, this is a cool peripheral to make bring, but I think I don't know. What would you rather have, that or VR? I don't care. I don't give two shits about VR, but which what
Oh,
would
I'm
you
ordering
guys
a
on the panel
VR.
would rather have? Would you rather have VR or this peripheral?
VR.
What about you, D? What would you rather have, VR or? Hmm.
I can't choose between those because my system has a disk drive and I don't really care about VR. Um, so even though I don't use my disk drive very often, I specifically bought my system in case I wanted to use a disk and because I still have a disk. So,
Like you see a movie that you always wanted, all of a sudden got a good sale on it, and you want to pick it up and then pop it in.
or again, I can have that ability. Granted, I put in Assassin's Creed Origins and it has not come out in almost 2 years.
Mhm.
But the point is, if I want to pop a disc in, um, especially with some games that I have that are on Game Pass, I'll play it through Game Pass. But if it goes off Game Pass, I still have the disc. So like Shadow of War, um, some other games that are on Game Pass that I have the disc for, I just play it that way. So I those
You have
two are
the
kind of
option.
immaterial to me. Yeah, I just have the
Mhm.
option.
Well, let's get to it. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And I looking at this old gameplay, I'm actually I had to go back and play for Honor. the game is really good.
Yeah, we had fun one night playing that. I
Yeah,
remember
I
that.
enjoy playing. Okay,
And I didn't
so
even like the game until then.
well, you know, I didn't. Core turned me on to it because I had
Yeah, I
it.
remember.
Yeah, but then we went in and was hell out of it. Shout out to Core. All right, so let's get into it, man. All right,
Quick note.
Starfield Redfall gets delayed. All right. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna do something different. I'm gonna do this rant first. Then I want to hear what you guys got to say.
All right, I can go get my Mountain Dew.
Yeah, go get your Mountain Dew because I'm about to put in this work right now. You know what I'm saying? Just a little sample of it.
You and Solo about to go at it, so I know I got a while.
I don't know what D thinks about this. I don't even know where you're at on this, Sir X-Man. No. Of course, you know, people in the chat, let me hear what they got to say. But, all right, so let me paint a scenario for you. All right. Okay, let's just say Stalker came out in 2022, early part. Let's just say in February. Game was a hit. Had about a 87 to a 9 to a say an 85 to a 88 Metacritic. For people to care about just a hit. People love it. All right. Then that game drops. Let's just say Redfall dropped in June, right after the announcement of this Xbox announcement. And let's just say that it's a meta of, you know, it's kind of like one of those games like Alien Fireteam, which I think that's a really fun game. But let's just say that it would be somewhere between 77 to an 80 Metacritic, right? You know, there will be people who would definitely call it like Game Pass fault. That's what they would do. Let's say Motorsport dropped this year, and it gets a 90 meta. That sounds pretty good, right? Let's say that Scorn drops, and then Scorn is probably the lowest scoring. Let's say it's a 75, right? Of course, people will definitely say the thing of the Game Pass fault or what. Then Starfield drops this year, the big one. And I'm gonna put this mic up so people can hear me, just in case. And all of a sudden, people get this game and they start to play it, they hype, they talked about it, and the game comes out and is buggy like Fallout 76, or it comes out like Cyberpunk 2077. What do you think people will talk about? What do you think the haters that has been waiting to talk bad about Starfield will talk about? Will they talk about how many Xbox IPs dropped in 2022? Or will they only pinpoint the failed launch of Starfield? Think about that for a second. What do you think that will do going into 2023? Do you think that people will still talk about that or stop talking about it? No. Do you think that they'll overshadow everything else? And let's not forget, like, let's just say season 3 for Halo comes out as well. All of that, everything, all those IPs will get overshadowed because of one game that didn't come out complete and is a failure. And the excuse will be from Todd Howard and all them will be, well, people demanded this game to come out today at this date because we gave a date and we know how hype you guys have been for this game. We didn't want to let you down, and we felt that we could just patch this game for you in a couple of months and it'll be right as rain. How do you think that people will react to that? Oh, I know. They would say that Xbox needs to get their management together. Xbox fucking up again. Xbox is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. The same shit that we're hearing right now over them doing what we asked them to do just a couple of years ago. Let's not forget about the creative freedom lines that we were hearing about 343 and Coalition, when everybody was thinking that Coalition or 343 was forced into just to making Halo and Gears. I didn't forget that. And I know a lot of you that listens didn't forget that either. There would be a narrative that would happen if they dropped that game and forget Redfall, just Starfield. That's the one. That's the one that the PlayStation stands circle and wait for, just like they do with Halo, just like they do with Gears, just like they do with Forza. They hate those games because those games are successful. No matter, I mean, Halo has got its issues. There's no doubt about it. But Halo is still Halo. So if this Starfield is everything what everybody talked about, what do you think people would say? And what do you think that these content creators would say if they brought that game out and that game was broken? You not only made a fool out of everybody that capped for that game, they're going to jump on Xbox ass like white on rice. And rightfully so. Why would you bring out a buggy game? You got all these studios. Why you couldn't delay it? Now tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm wrong if you don't think that these people would say the same shit that I'm saying. The gaming community is inconsistent. And damn it, I'm not going to sit there and be one of these people that be inconsistent with you. I'm not standing by that. I will not stand by that. I have always said about Starfield, I want to be hyped about it, but I can't because I don't know nothing about it yet. We haven't seen enough about it. But you got others out there that's sitting. I mean, the media, everybody start talking about the game. They just was in love with this game. I mean, it had to be something because Sony wanted to get the marketing rights for it and make it a timed exclusive. So obviously this game is supposed to be the shit. But the biggest problem here is that they did what the gamers asked them to do. Let them have their freedom. Let them have their time. Let these games bake in the oven. Take as much time as you want. But we don't want to have another Cyberpunk 2077. We don't want to have another Fallout 77. What did they do? Gamers out here losing their damn minds that these delays is like the end of the world. If these were cancellations, I would absolutely be right there with you with pitchforks and they're like, no, we can't have this again. I can't take no more of that. When they took away the game that I was anticipating last gen, I felt some kind of way. So I can understand a cancellation, but this is just a delay. And it doesn't matter how long the delay is, as long as they get it right. This is my last point on this too, and then I want to go ahead and let the panel go ahead and discuss what I'm saying, and of course give their thoughts. But this is a thing too that bothers me. The PlayStation stand community has so many people's mind twisted, right? Like, we get so many games in 1 year. And they got people only thinking about 2 to 5 games, 2 to maybe 6 games a year that drops. Think about that. You bought a console. When I hear this line about I bought a console for the exclusives. I bought the console for their IP. I got you. But how many of those you get a year? Listen. So that's all you buy? Because I know that there's people I know damn near everybody that I know that's in this gaming space has hundreds of games, if not thousands. So obviously you're buying more than just 1 or the 5 games a year. I know you are. That's a crazy thought to think about. Just think about that for a second. Yes, I understand exclusives are important. First-party games are important. I'm not saying they're not, but everybody put all of their eggs in a basket for just these few games. And what's crazy is that, like I said about the gaming community being inconsistent, PlayStation and Nintendo does this push games back all the damn time, and we don't see the same I don't see any PlayStation people coming out and saying, you know what, I'm getting tired of PlayStation shit. We got to do better with it. We demand better from PlayStation. You know what they say? Good. Let that cook. Let that game sit there in that oven. Because we know that game's going to be tight. Another thing that the PlayStation stand continues to have up on Xbox gamers out there is this thought that we're still in the Xbox One era or gen. That shit's gone and dead. It's out of here. Gone. Xbox gamers got to stop living in the past about last gen. All of these moves that Xbox has made, listen, when the media was saying about PlayStation when they were making their moves, and let's talk about all the games that they pushed back, going all the way back to Detroit, because Detroit was supposed to, it wasn't even called Detroit. It was going to be called something else. It was going to come out on the PlayStation 3. They showed the trailer of that game, and it was one of the best looking crazy games that we've ever seen. And when did Detroit drop? Like towards the end of the generation for the PlayStation 4.
Oh yeah, and K Mega beat that game, y'all. For y'all don't think he play on PlayStation.
I love Detroit.
I
was
remember
like, Detroit should be a nominee for Game of the Year. That game was so damn amazing.
You just talked about it forever, dude.
I love Detroit. Man, you make me go think about boot up the PS4 right now, playing that shit again, man. I love Detroit. It was worth the wait, though. Now, that's the problem. Because if you're going to be consistent, though, like I ain't got no. Everybody has their right to say what they want to say. I get it. Don't get me wrong. It's okay to be disappointed, but to make a damn, turn this molehill into a mountain and make it out to like this is a damn cancellation. It's pretty grotesque. It's pretty disgusting. I got invited to go to Xbox University's podcast tomorrow. Hope you guys come and check me out because I want to still bring that same flavor. You know what I'm saying? If there's something that I stand and I dig my feet into, I'm digging in the sand. I'm not pulling. It's going to be pretty damn hard to pull me out. I think that the overreaction to everything is ridiculous. And as a person who's been doing this shit for so many years, I'm seeing the thing that Xbox gamers hated about the PlayStation Stand community, not the PlayStation fans, the PlayStation Stand community. They are becoming that same thing. And that to me is the worst part of that. Now, okay. That's my rant. I'm gonna go straight to you on this one, Ham Solo, because I know that you have a different thought about this than me. So what's up? What do you think?
So I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree with like all of it at all. Like at the end of the day, I still got a lot of love for my Xbox console, because of what it has given me in the past and everything. But the way I kind of looked at all of this, because I know you're like, oh yeah, if it would have came out like this and if it would have came out like that, I get it. But I wasn't anticipating it to come out as a buggy mess. I wasn't anticipating it to be like an issue. I thought it was going to be what it's supposed to be. But at the same time, I'm sitting here thinking like, I didn't ask you to go onto E3 and tell me the exact day for something that you were clearly not sure about. Maybe you may have thought something, but I think Xbox does this I think thing a lot. And you say don't stop. People need to quit living in the Xbox One era. Well, it's like, well, I'll stop living in that area when I see something different from the marketing side. Because the marketing side has kind of always been extremely hit and miss with stuff. They'll get you out of your seat, super excited. Look, this is for sure coming. Watch out now. Just to have you sit back in your seat being like, wait a second. Like, this is cool and all, but this isn't what I was waiting for exactly. I mean, Halo is a perfect example of that, right? I mean, we got Halo and it was an awesome game, but it wasn't what we thought it would be. At least because they kept saying, hey, it's around the corner. It's around the corner. It's around the corner. And that sounds really similar to the last generation. You can say, oh man, all these fanboys. I don't give a damn about a fanboy. This has nothing to do with fanboys in my eyes. This has to do with my personal opinion and, my issues that I've had with Xbox with last generation that's coming towards this generation. And it's not at the same level of scale bound. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's not a canceled game. I'm still hella excited about Starfield and Redfall. But what I'm saying is like, bro, like you don't have to just come in and tell us games that are a year and a half out, 3 years out, and say, you know, come back for, you know, or not come back for it, but be ready for it to launch at this time. You know what game I thought was launched damn near perfect was Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah.
They announced the launch date for that game just a few months before it came out. And I was like, you know what? That's freaking confident. And I mean, that sounds like it's coming. Like, no doubt about it.
Bethesda used to do that, man.
And that's what they need to get back to. They need to get back to that because Xbox has this thing where they just like to get people antsy and they think they are in complete control. And then it turns around and just, we end up, you know, you're at the race, you know, you got the blocks down, you put your fingers down, you get set, everyone's set, and then you run real quick and it's a false start. Double shot, boom, boom. That's what it feels like constantly. And it's a little frustrating. It's not the end of the world, K-Megan, not at all. Xbox is fine, especially long term. They're great. But in the now, if I'm living today and telling you about how I feel right now, it's like, damn. And it wasn't just me that felt like this. And it's not just like fanboys out here, you know, clamoring and, you know, super duper excited to say some bad Xbox news. These are honest Xbox fans that are a little frustrated and just tired of the same jargon and the same it's coming. And the, you know, I mean, I after they announced that, I was like, well, it's good that they announced the event because that had to be, you know, that this had to be a decision before they thought about announcing the event. But I'm sure the event was there to mitigate a little bit before they laid on the thick bad news. So, I mean, it is what it is, all in all. And I'm sure and I know the delay is for the good of the game. So, I mean, I'm not asking, yo, I hope you drop and like if it's broken, whatever. But I'm just like, man, just be quiet until you know what's gonna happen next instead of just getting excited to show something just for the sake of showing something.
But to make sure you got every word in, I'm not going to say anything else until I have the rest of the panel say what they got to say. Let me go to D on this. I can't wait to hear what your thoughts is about this. And you've heard my take on it. You've heard Ham's. I'm pretty sure you've seen some of the stuff on the internet. So what is your initial thought about everything, D?
I'm gonna be 100% completely honest. I wasn't surprised, and after I read their statement, I really didn't care. Period. I I no longer have it in me to kind of get in a tizzy about these things. Um, I saw it. I acknowledged it. I can empathize with those who are looking forward to it. As somebody who pre-ordered Cyberpunk after E3 2019, and it was delayed 3 times, even after it went gold. So I definitely have felt that frustration, and wouldn't, wish that on anybody. But as far as, my thoughts on it and the spaces and what somebody who's on this side or who's on that side, I really kind of just I muted it, to be honest. Um, as soon as I saw Bethesda trending, when I saw Cyberpunk trending, that's when I was like, something happened. Because anytime that a game company and or a title of a game are trending, and Cyberpunk is trending behind it, I know some shit don't went down. So I hope it is just like I said for Elden Ring. I hope it lives up to the expectations of those who are looking forward to it. Redfall looked interesting to me, but the fact that we're about to be in summertime and there hasn't been any, I hate to say it, but there's been no pre-order bonus, there's been no collector's because there's been none of that announcement, and they were saying it was coming this year. I had a feeling it wasn't coming out this year, because that seems to be a pattern for a lot of games. You know, when they're serious about a date, they get serious about a date with, you know, pre-orders and get it from this place and you'll get this. As much as I don't really like the practice of it, but that's usually a telltale sign for me. Um, Either way, it's going to launch into Game Pass, and hopefully I'll have enough space to accommodate it once either of those games are released.
Oh, you making space?
Well, I already have games that are cloud only. I have the external, the internal, and the expansion. So all in all, I have approximately like 4 or 5 terabytes, whatever. But you know, we'll see what's what. Delays suck. They always suck. But my thing is, once the game comes out and the game is great or it's whatever, nobody talks about the delay. I'm sorry. Like, you talk about the quality of the game. You don't talk about, oh man, that thing was delayed. Like, nah. People don't talk about how Red Dead 2 was delayed. It was supposed to come out in May of 2018. No one played that game and was like, yo, this game is fire. It was delayed though. No, nobody cares about that shit. So it's one of those things where people are gonna talk. I really wish Twitter would give an option to like not see spaces. And I wish people could like kind of block their space, because if you could let people not see that you're in a space. So if you're in a space for 2 seconds, my entire Twitter was running so slowly because it just kept refreshing and there was so many spaces. And I was just like, I gotta mute this shit. Because everybody about to write a damn dissertation and a thesis about the industry. Everybody a damn expert in whatever industry is happening. Y'all motherfuckers are lawyers one day, then the next day you're a politic. Like I can't. Like I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's just this year just whooping my ass. I don't have it in me anymore. So the people can say what they want to. They're gonna use it as ammunition. That's all there is to it. If the game came out like shit, it was gonna be used as ammunition. But I also agree that Bethesda needs to get back to releasing their shit, or at least talking about this shit when it is almost there. Um, just like Fallout 4. Fallout 4 was introduced, announced with a release date at E3. They were like, hey, here's Fallout 4. Here's what you can do in it. Here's what's going on with it. It's coming out this November. Here's the Pip-Boy edition. Like, they laid all their cards on the table when they were ready. I, too, am not a fan of this, okay, here's a game. It's coming out in 2025. Like, don't even tell me about the shit. Like, I don't like that piecemeal of showing the game. Like, by the time I'm interested, just show me the entire game, basically. I'm not saying don't tell me about it until a week before, obviously, but I'm trying to see solid gameplay. Give me something to get me excited about it with, you know, some absolute. I'm very literal. I'm not, I can't deal in, you know, oh, what about, and it, I'm very concrete and very literal. So if you're telling me it's coming, my next question is, what's the date? If it's coming, where is it? You know what I'm saying? So I see both sides of it as far as what the panel has said thus far. But at the end of the day, I did have to mute everything, and I really just had to. It is what it is at this point. The game will be there. You can't please people, because if it came out like shit, people be pissed. It's delayed. People are pissed. You might as well have the game be solid, but they're still gonna be pissed. It is what it is at this point.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. That's exactly it. Damn, Xbox is damned if they do, damned if they don't. That's what bothers me the most about the situation. Gamers ask for it, and I just don't get why this is I understand the day thing. So that part right there, when people say, look, Xbox, gave us a date. They had all this anniversary, everything, all that. Everybody, yes, no, I totally understand that. Shouldn't have gave a date. But again, it is what it is. I'll get to you, Sir X-Men, but let me read this right fast. And I seen a 108 sighting. You know what I'm saying? What up, 108? If he's still around. And then I seen Everborn Saga. Yeah, he says, talk that talk, Mega. I cannot wait because I know you on the other side of the field. I've been seeing those in the games, brother. So I will definitely we will definitely have a good conversation tomorrow. Just like we're having a good conversation right now. Respectful and respect everybody's opinion. I love it. So for X-Men, that being said, probably gonna mess it up. So go ahead and say something crazy.
Nah, not crazy. It's
I'll
just
just messing with you.
I'm
No,
about
go
to
ahead.
preach. I'm about to preach some truth about this generation
Oh,
and the
okay.
past
Well, go ahead. Let's hear
and
some
what was
preaching
before
then.
this generation.
Okay, let's have some preaching. Here, let's hear it.
In the original Xbox generation, the original PS3 generation, and the 360 generation, when games were coming out, they were coming out. There was no delay. And I say 90% of the time, they came out working fine. It wasn't until we got to this new phase with the PS4 and the Xbox One generation where I have never seen so many delays in my lifetime. All consoles. And even Nintendo got the delay bug now. So I don't know what's going on with these developers. Y'all can't blame it on the pandemic because you guys have been delaying games years before the pandemic. Um, I am tired of seeing games announced 3 to 4 years out. I am tired of games taking 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, 7, 8, 9 years to make. It doesn't take that long. If
What you
you
mean it
got
doesn't take that
projects
long?
Oh, no, I'm not
Okay.
let me go. You know, if you go back to the way it used to be, when you know your game is close to being to its final end, give it a year announcement. When you pretty much are at your last session and getting ready to make the move to have everything in pre-stage, have everything get ready to set up, have everything get ready for the consoles, and then put the dates so you just got little fine touches left to make. Then you announce the game. Announcing games too early causes all this drama. And I wish Phil would go back to the old way he used to say, I don't like announcing games early. That used to work for you, but you stopped doing it. Now you're following a trend that another console was doing. And now it's causing you to delay games that might not be ready at that time. I miss those days. And, because you get really excited like a year out when the game was really coming out. I'm gonna ask y'all a question on top. This is the same topic we talking about. In the past generations before the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, were there really that many game delays?
We don't know. That's the thing. Like,
I know. I
understand.
do.
Well, I mean, the media wasn't talking about
It's not about
delays
the
of games.
media part, K Mega. It's not about the media
Nobody.
part.
I don't.
When you saw a game at an E3
Ask me a question.
event, when you saw a game at an E3 event in the past generation, when they said games were coming out, how many of them did you see delayed?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, we
You
Only
don't remember?
one. I only know one.
See?
I only know one.
I know it's been a lot. It's a lot less than what it is now. I agree with you on that, but I don't know because I never paid attention. Like I wasn't heavy on social media stuff like that back then.
No, it wasn't
It was
It's
social
not
media.
about. We
I'm
didn't
not
have
talking
social
about
media
social
back
media.
then.
I wasn't talking about social media. I'm talking about when developers said a game was coming out, K-Make. This ain't got nothing to do with social media right here.
Where do you think that
When
they found out about the
they
games from?
said a game was coming out,
The day did not
did it
change.
come out? The date did not change.
Did not change. Basically, no.
I didn't pay attention to it. I just went to the store, and if I seen a game or if there was something that I like,
So you wasn't watching E3 back in the day?
No, I was working. Single father taking care of business, bro. I had no. I didn't start watching E3 until 2000.
Yeah, and what Dragon Yobi said was about to be my next point. I think that this technology and the new stuff we have to deal. PC used to do it and get the stuff faster, because we were always ahead. They were always ahead of the curve. It took. Remember, the console usually used to get PC ports, and they would have to wait on it. So I don't think these people are getting really good development kits for consoles. I know they have the development kits, but I think there's something wrong with the process of them making these games, and they're not making them right. They're not. I don't think they're putting that much emphasis on. Like I always used to say, and y'all heard me say this: where are the beta testers for these
Honestly.
games on the side? Where are they? There used to be beta testers for every development company, everyone. I don't see that or hear about it anymore. Some people have to be up close and personal. This was even before the pandemic. Everyone would just send somebody a game and have them test their product, out, and then give them feedback. But it wasn't like the personal feedback where somebody could look at it with you and see it. You don't see that too much anymore. And they need to improve this. I know Sony and Microsoft, even Nintendo, on this part, I gotta say, they need to get back to their roots of developing games. So when it's pretty much ready to go, 6 months to a year out, you're pretty much ready to go. All you got to do is do the tighten up, button up phase and stuff like that. They need to get back to that, because I'm not mad at Microsoft. I'm not mad at PlayStation. I'm mad at the developers that are doing this. I can only blame it on them. I can't blame it on the companies that own them, but I can blame it on part of that on the companies that own them that don't use good strategy when they go along to make a game. And that's why we are having a lot of these problems. Now you got the Twitter world and every other social media harping on them. And they're not listening to that. They're doing it the way they want to do it instead of listening to people that actually know how you should do it. And I'm just tired of it. It's a good thing I got such a big backlog where I have time to wait. It doesn't bother me, because I'm like everybody else. I've been doing life things. And the longer a game takes, the more I can get some other stuff done. And that's pretty much my feel on it. I ain't worried about the social media stuff. People always cry about everything, and I don't pay them no attention. I know what I like, and I know how I feel about games. And you can cry all you want. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can say about it. These are major companies. You just have to wait, because nothing's going to be good handed to you. Anything that comes fast for no reason is not going to be a good product. And that's pretty much all I got on that, bro. Really is.
I feel you a little bit, Sir Axon, but my blame isn't on the devs. My blame is just like on just marketing. Like it's just to me, it just makes And this goes back to another point that you brought up, which I completely agreed with. Like just throwing these like it's okay to show off the game like D was talking about, but like to put a date on something when you're not. I want you to be 1,000% sure. If you thought you were 100% sure just now, then I'm gonna need you to be 1,000% sure next time, because it's just like, man, like.
Right, because they used to do it when they were in the pre, right in the pre-end phase. They're not doing that anymore.
But see, I want to let Ham Solo finish what he's saying. Go ahead, finish what
No, you go ahead. I was pretty much done saying what I needed to say.
I got to push back. I know that there was delay. And there was people that's in the chat that's making a point that, that I didn't even think about, but I just kind of ran into it. Like, the first thoughts I thought about was Tabal and Toshinden, right? Like, because it was Squaresoft, but I didn't know that Squaresoft turned into Square Enix. See, I was reading gaming magazines and stuff, but those things weren't applied. The deep business side of things weren't applied in those magazines like the information that we are getting now. So when so I know that there was delay, but there was a person that made the point which was 100% accurate. I'm looking like, damn, okay, we got Toshinden 4. Like, where's Toshinden 5? Like, where's Tabal 3? Where's
the remakes? I mean, the second generation of the version of the game you're talking about.
Well, yeah, like where's the
that 1, 2, 3, 4? Where's your Rise 2? You love Rise.
Right.
Example.
No, that's different. But let me back to my point. So we didn't know the gaming. We didn't know the ins and outs of the gaming world or industry like we do.
I knew what it was like back then.
Maybe gamers didn't care like that. Like I didn't care. Like I said, I'm over here. I'm working. I'm over here. I'm all types of other shit. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of things I want to do is go to GameStop, or if I see a game that's supposed to be already released in the gaming magazine, I'm like, oh, I want to go up here and see if it's at the store, or I'm just going to go window shop until I see something that I want. And I'm like, oh, okay, this right here. Oh, this right here, or word of mouth. That's how my gaming process was until.
Question for you on that point, K Mega. When you knew a game was coming out, and you lined up at GameStop and the game came out exactly when they said it was going to come out, did you go and get it?
No, see, that's the whole thing. Okay, like later on during the Xbox One and late 360 era, like, okay, so like when I got into Call of Duty, like, remember, I was late to all types of shit. Like, I didn't online game until 2000.
I remember 5, I think it was.
No, way later than that. When like 2010, that's when I said that's when I first seen the very first E3, and I watched other older E3 after that, but that was the very first E3 that I ever seen in 2010, and then I was getting into online gaming heavily because out here online gaming aspect of it was horrible. We wasn't getting, you know what I'm saying? We were still doing dial up and shit until
I had broadband back then,
So when you're trying to play somebody and you see a Madden character doing the damn hammer dance down the field, that shit ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you doing a typewriter down the field, that ain't how the game works. So, you know what I'm saying? And then we doing couch co-op anyway, so I got homies always coming through. So it was.
I guess me and Han Solo and D were in it a little bit longer than you.
There's one thing I wanted to throw out real quick. I wanted to throw some shots at other Zinc real quick in the chat.
What did he say?
Because he said Starfield being delayed doesn't have one damn thing to do with marketing. Absolutely nothing. And I'm going to say, bruh, you are wrong about that one. 100% wrong. The reason I say this is because if Xbox would have came out and said, yo, this game is coming out between fall and spring of 2023, between fall of 2022 and spring, they would have had plenty of time to, they would have been able to say, we hope to drop out on 11/11. That would be a crazy dope surprise, right? but that gives us plenty of time in case something doesn't work right. So now what are they doing? Are they doing the cyberpunk push right now where it's another 2 months, another 2 months, another 2 months kind of thing?
Rather than wait.
Yeah,
Yep.
no,
Yeah,
like,
so that's why I got to push back on that, because it's just like, of course it has to, anything that sells on the shelf has to do with marketing. Everything. The way that you put something out will either sell, you know, 1 million or 10 million, depending on how you market it. Let's go back to what we talked about a couple weeks ago with Square Enix and Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy. Marketing had everything to do with how that game went, right?
It
oh
did.
yeah,
It did.
no doubt about
That game was perceived as ass until somebody got their hands on it. So I'm sorry, Others Inc., that I had to call you out right there. But yes, marketing has a lot to do with people's perceptions, the way people think about things, the way people want to interact with things, the hype people have. You can temper your expectations when there's a bigger window. But when you completely close yourself off to one day, then you can't be surprised that there's a backlash now, that people are upset because you stood firm, Todd Howard, when you said it's going to be 11/11/22. And then closer towards the end of the year, they said, oh, yeah, we're pretty much done with the game. We're just polishing right now.
Yeah, we just have problems with the flight of the fly.
And now it's pushed to the next year. So what I'm just saying is, yo, Xbox and what's his name? John Wolf made a great point earlier in the chat, because I be keeping up with the chat, y'all.
Oh, you know,
John Wolf
I'm
said,
watching the chat. I'm watching the chat.
And John Wolf said, you know, PlayStation doesn't have to deal, because K-Mega, you were talking about this energy thing earlier. You're like, oh, PlayStation doesn't have to make all these excuses and yada yada yada. You know why, K-Mega?
Oh, okay,
because they don't have a stigma. They don't have a stigma on.
What you mean they don't have a stigma? What? Death Stranding?
They don't have that same stigma. You cannot sit here and be honest with me and say that PlayStation has the exact same stigma that Xbox has. You cannot sit there and say that.
No. But this is why I can sit. But this is where I know that this is what I said earlier. Is that a PlayStation fan, or I should say Stan, that comes out and tells an Xbox gamer that about like, oh, look at this delays, ha, and you talk shit, it sticks in the craw for some reason. You do that to a PlayStation gamer or to a PlayStation Stan, they're going to just ignore you. They might block you. They'll sit there and they have a support group out there that will demand you to lie to them. Trust me. Before I started getting into this stuff, I was in Facebook. It was the craziest thing I ever seen. Xbox 448 is my witness. We used to be in Facebook groups, right? And there was one PlayStation dude that was pushing back about a certain game. I can't remember. It was back in 2013, and and then all those PlayStation dudes jumped on him, kicked him out of the Facebook PlayStation group, and then dude came groveling back like a wet puppy, asking for forgiveness, bro. Like, I ain't never seen anything like that. Like, I'm like, there ain't no kids in that group. It's all grown men and women. Like, I'm like, what is going on here? How is this even possible? See, it's almost cult-like in that realm. It is crazy, bro. So they can lie to each other and say all types of
game delay.
What'd you say?
I thought we were talking about the game delay.
Okay, back to what I'm saying. But you can say, but because I'm answering what Solo is. Pay attention.
I don't even know where you're at right now, bro.
I'm going back to about your point about what you're saying, Ham, is that about the stigma. Is that when you were saying PlayStation people have that stigma because
Xbox has bro, you're not going to sit here and tell me Xbox doesn't have consistency issues. You're not going to sit here and tell me that Xbox doesn't have consistency issues. I'm an Xbox fan. Bro, I love me some Xbox, but yes, they have consistency issues.
Tell me
all the
how
consoles
consistent
have
PlayStation's
that.
been. Tell me what year PlayStation has announced something and they've been consistent with it. Give me a year. Give me a year.
PS3, PS2,
You
PS1.
don't even know that, Sir X, man. Stop the bullshit.
Dude, every time the game came out, I was there on release day at GameStop
Okay,
or
what
at a
game?
Best
Which
Buy to buy
games?
'em.
Okay, name the game. I said name. Okay, so you gonna say PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2? Okay, what year?
And my Xbox and the Xbox 360. That's what I said
Xbox
earlier.
360.
I
Oh, there
didn't
was
have no
bro.
problem with that. I
There was
could go
delays
out
on
and
the
buy the disc
360.
day one.
I know that there had to be delays
Not
on
for
the
the game.
360
No.
and on the PlayStation 3. I know they were.
I
We can look that
didn't
up.
have any delays when I bought
Okay.
PlayStation 3.
About
man.
what? Okay.
Resistance
so-
Fall of Man, I went and bought it day
All
one.
right, that's fine. Okay, so let you have it. Let's say
I-
PlayStation 3.
I went and bought Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6 day one.
So you mean to tell
disc.
me that Gran Turismo? I mean, not Gran. Did you say Gran Turismo? Or did you Grand Theft Auto? Did you say Grand Theft Auto?
No, Gran Turismo. I mean,
Okay,
Gran
Gran
Turismo,
Turismo.
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have no delay on those when I came out back in the day.
Okay, but you're talking
When
about
they came
PlayStation.
out with the games on Xbox One, I didn't have the original Xbox. I didn't have no delays when the game said it was coming out. It came out.
Okay, on Xbox
On
360,
360
PlayStation 3.
when games came out, pretty much they came out. There
Okay,
were very few games
you repeat
delayed.
yourself. Okay, I got
No,
that.
but there were very few
okay,
games
so you're saying
delayed
the
back then.
PlayStation 3 and you're saying that the Xbox 360. Okay, that
And the
you know how
Xbox
long
One.
ago that was?
But
You know how
I
long
wasn't.
ago
What
that
I
was?
was giving you was an example of where things were to what's happening now.
And what I'm telling you, and what I was referring to with this whole stigma thing, is that I'm asking is, okay, so you said PlayStation 3, 360. From there, going back, every game came out on time, which I know it didn't, but okay.
No,
we'll
not
let you
every
have it.
game came out, but I said 90% of your
Okay,
games came out on
That's
time.
fine, but okay, but okay, so we're going to be looking at how long ago was that? Since you said PlayStation 3, 360? How long ago was that?
Say about 12, 13 years ago.
Okay, so now, so what do you mean?
So now you're proving my point when I
No,
said
I'm not.
this
No,
generation
come on now.
after. Technically, that's what you're saying.
No,
you just
I'm not. I was asking him Solo a question about, because he's saying this stigma. And I'm trying to tell him about, that's why I went into this story about, like, there's people out here that will demand you not to talk about something that you dislike about a certain console because it's not because and that's the reason why they don't have a stigma, because they make people say, if you want to be a part of this group, you need to shut the hell up, don't say anything. You just let everything be what it's supposed to be. And and people might think I'm crazy, but everybody on this panel knows there's what we've been seeing on the internet. It's been crazy ever since then. I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like it. That was the first time I've seen it in 2013. Now it's even worse. So the reason why there's no stigma is because the PlayStation fan will put their head in the sand and not say anything because they don't want to have that stigma. But every year there has been a delay. And that's the thing to me, is where it's funny when you see these PlayStation stands come out and try to tell Xbox gamers, yeah, stand up for your right. Go after Uncle Phil. Let them know. Let the marketing team know. It's nothing wrong with being upset about it, but the point of it is that there's no consistency with it. So yeah, there is a stigma. It's just that they don't talk about it, but Xbox gamers do.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You said Xbox has a stigma because Xbox gamers want to talk about it, but PlayStation people don't?
Are you talking to me or are you talking to Ham Solo?
No, I'm talking to you.
Okay, Ham Solo said that.
No. The last sentence you just said was that Xbox gamers talk about what the problems are, but PlayStation does not. And that's why there is a stigma.
The stands do not. No. The stands do not talk about the bad things. Right.
So it's not necessarily the acknowledgement of things taking place, but it's Xbox does have a stigma. I'm not sure if the context is congruent, but as far as what Ham Solo said, and in the definition of the word, Xbox does have a stigma. Xbox has a stigma since 2013 Inconsistency, low rating games, and anything they try to do or what they touch fails.
Thank you.
That is completely separate from PlayStation has similar issues, but nobody talks about. That's not the stigma. That's just being a hypocrite. Let's just call a spade a spade. There is a stigma with Xbox, and they've been digging themselves out of it or attempting to since Don Matrix and the first couple of years of Xbox One. It has nothing to do with who's talking about it, who's not. The stigma is there regardless.
I got to push back on that, D, because my point is saying this. Okay, since you're bringing up this word about to try to pinpoint the
I don't know why
word.
you need to defend it so much, bro. Like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I get what you're saying, but I'm saying that in regard to why PlayStation doesn't have the same stigma.
Pause. I'm going to pause you right there.
Okay.
I love you, but I don't think you're using the word stigma in the right context.
Okay, well, cool.
It is not that PlayStation doesn't have a stand because no one's talking about it. PlayStation has their own stigma in different contexts, meaning there is a mark of disgrace. If you say the word hack or credit card information, what system do you think of?
Or multiplayer games.
You think of PlayStation because PlayStation has a stigma of their security not being tight. Once the stigma is there, it is there. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing anybody on this panel can do about it. The mark of disgrace is there. That is the stigma. Xbox still has one, period. I hear what you're saying. PlayStation doesn't have it because nobody wants to talk about it. People are talking about it. When PlayStation has their issues with games going from PS4 to PS5, they're still talking about it. It may not be on Twitter, it may not be on Facebook, but for the bigger scale, real life, offline, it's being discussed.
Like the Gran Turismo thing. Oh, yeah.
That was discussed on Forbes, Bloomberg. It was everywhere. It was not just Twitter. It was not just Facebook. We have to kind of remember as gamers, as consumers of this ever-changing, overpopulated media, we're seeing things at such rapid pace. Something that happened a week ago feels like a year ago because there's always something else. We have to remember, outside of our little bubble of Twitter and Facebook, things are not as big as they are to you and me. That's just point blank. Because when somebody's parent or whoever the hell hears about Starfield, it's not going to be this huge blow up. It's like, oh, it was coming out when? Oh, okay, it's coming out later. We kind of have this thing where in the gaming world, it's a big deal because of this, that, and the third. What I'm saying is, with what is going on with Xbox gamers and PlayStation gamers, I do agree that there is a higher percentage of fans and consumers of Xbox who are more vocal and willing to point out the issues and demand change than there are people who are staunch PlayStation fans who are willing to do the same. I agree with that. But given the behavior of both companies in the last couple of years, there is no stigma because there is no lack of a stigma because PlayStation gamers do not speak up. That's not the case. It is a market disgrace, period. Xbox has theirs for not having system sellers, A+ exclusive. That's
and
from the Xbox One. And consistency. We saw it with Crackdown. We saw it with Scalebound. That's just 2 games. In the first couple of years, there have been many things that Xbox did, how they brought the system out. Fable Legends, Crash and Burn. That is the stigma that Xbox has. Here's a game. Here's a beta. Cancel. It's done. Where are the games? Then on the other side, PS4 had Until Dawn, Uncharted 4, God of War 2018, Spider-Man. Like, they had consistent games. Granted, They were all similar as far as they weren't multiplayer games, essentially what I'm saying, but they had the games from different studios that came out that worked and pushed systems. Xbox did not have that. So the stigma is in place for 7 years. That's just what it is. I just had to interject that because I'm like
Okay,
that
no.
the way we're using this word,
Yes,
that
I was butchering it. It
that's
was
not what
right.
it is.
The way that you broke it down, yes, you were right. I was wrong. I will have to take it. My apologies, Ham Solo. But I hope that
Oh, it's okay, brother. It's okay.
But I was just making this point though, is about that. This is the thing that bothers me. If there's anything that bothers me, the most, that when you have Xbox gamers that listen so much to the negative that they start talking about it. Like kind of like last week.
I don't listen to the negative, dude. I don't
know.
pay attention to social media like
get that. But you know what? Last week y'all had to check me. You know what I'm saying? Because it got that one particular thing about the Fury situation got me. And then when I was talking about the Game Pass situation, you guys y'all made me have to reel back in. Like, Mega, come on now. What are you talking about? And I'm like, you know what? I let
What
it affect
Fury
me.
situation?
About when I was talking about the Game Pass thing, and then when I said, like, when people ask me, was it on Game Pass? And then, one bad mother and everybody was like, oh, you know what, Game Pass is a bad thing now? And I was like, no, it's not a bad thing, but it's like, ask me, is the game on Game Pass? How about you just buy it? And then and I don't know if it was one bad mother or if it was Ham Solo that first said, so what, Game Pass is bad because people are asking about it? And I was like, no. Mm-hmm. But again, because I listened, because I kept reading this negative, so I caught myself saying that. That's the problem, that he is Xbox game. Listen to this negative, and I try not to. And most of the parts, it kind of brushes me off. But there's so many that out there that talks and communicates with a lot of PlayStation fans that are negative towards Xbox, that it festers over, and then they repeat the same things and that's the thing that bothers me. So that's my whole point.
My whole point was, bruh, like, I mean, like I said, we like I'm already feeling this stigma, trying to get over it like a freaking sickness. and then people are telling me, oh, it's not that big of a deal, like quit crying, or it's not the end of the world. And I'm just like, I didn't say it was the end of the world. I'm definitely not crying because I got plenty of stuff to play. I got plenty of stuff to play. I'm just tired of like I said, of the false starts, the expectation not being fulfilled. I just want one full expectation to be fulfilled, and it just to be like, this is Xbox. Like me, that's what I'm talking about.
Like me. Like I said, me and you were getting along with that conversation. We came up in a generation where we really did not have delays in game. We always expected them to be there when they said they were going to be there and working. And all this is just it's like, it's new to us, these game delays. But you know what? I don't let it bother me. I don't let the social stuff bother me. Maybe because I'm an old gamer and I've been gaming for so damn long that I've seen almost everything. So it's like, when the game is ready, a game is going to be ready. I've accepted this with these past couple of generations, and I'm not mad about it. I don't get upset about it. When it comes, it's come. When it's ready. I'll jump in it, and I listen to other people. If a game is broke, now I don't just jump on it and buy it day one. I wait until I find out that the game is good and there's no problems. Then I get it. I just don't jump ahead no more.
I feel you there. And just to end my rant throughout all of this,
you lost your rant on that part. Now you won on the stigma, but you lost when it goes over the thing.
Whatever. You know what? You know what? You can choose to win whatever you want, Mega. You know how you feel at the end of the day, and that's what I'm happy about.
Yeah, I know, it's all
good. But anyways, I just want to.
As long as I know that you're still breathing and ain't none of this making you have a heart attack. Man, don't let this stuff make you have a heart attack over it, man. It ain't worth it.
On me, I definitely appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? that's what it's all about, to have a discussion, because it
wouldn't be fun if we were all agreeing.
Strong I get. Like, I mean, Ham Solo, you probably know me the least, but you know what I'm saying. But maybe between you and D, but Sir X-Man definitely know how headstrong I am. And if people that's in the chat, especially like Yobi and shit, like they know how headstrong I am.
Think I still got my Atari, bro. I don't know what you talking about.
Shut your mouth. But anyway.
Anyways, like I was trying to end it. I was trying to end my thought on this, and like the last thing I had to say really was that, bro, like a lot of people are saying, don't think of it as that big of a deal. And I mean, it at the end of the day, it's not like the end of the world or anything. Not even close. Not even close. Xbox is going to be fine there. I'm really excited for what they got. I'm still excited for the showcase because now I'm thinking, well, if that's delayed, what you got for me now? So I'm pretty excited. But wait a second before you go.
Okay, they ain't putting no money in my pocket. This is my money. I make the decisions with. That's why I don't pay attention to what these people say.
I feel you, but what I'm getting at is, bro, it was a big enough deal to get Phil Spencer to toss a tweet out saying pretty much that he's embarrassed.
Right. No. Yeah. No.
So I didn't even know say it's not a big deal. So for people to say it's not a big deal, it was to him. Why can't it be a big deal to me?
I mean, maybe Phil should put some crunch time in for people.
That's not the problem. The problem is not being disappointed or like, damn, man. Especially if you was one of those people that were really just all about what this game was about.
I was looking forward to it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it as well. But I like I said, I need to see something first. I can't be. I got to visually understand what the fuck I want to be excited about, right? But that's the problem right there. That's not the problem, but that's the thing right there that I agree with anybody that's like they're like, no, this, if they say that is unacceptable because of the date, yes, you're right. There shouldn't have been all this talking about the date, making this some kind of harmonious great day that's connected to Skyrim and all this other stuff, and then you pull back. No, I get why people will be upset about that, but I just don't like the fact that people have taken it so far is going to try to make it out like, oh well, Xbox is going back to the doom and gloom era. That to me is just like, no, man.
No, they're not.
This is not doom and gloom. Xbox is doing 10 times better than what the Xbox One by leaps and bounds. I mean, I can't remember when Xbox One had a year that they won so many awards for the games that they brought out. You gotta let me know, because I can't remember. I mean,
and what was it? What they got the nomination for? Developer of the Year or something like that?
Yeah, Publisher of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to let me know if Xbox One ever got Publisher of the Year. I don't think
Sony's ever got Publisher of the Year.
Oh no, Sony's definitely got.
They have gotten it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they have. Not about it. But that's my whole point. Like, I mean, this is definitely, if this is going to be a down year, okay, I get it. But I don't think it is. I think if you're all about the first party, and that's all you care about, then it might be. Okay, but
no, it is then. I said no, it is then. I'm not that kind of player. I play, I got the Game Pass and I go through all these different games. I mean, you know me, K-Mega, I be going through different games. But yeah, if you are first party only, yeah, it's a quiet year, bro.
And all your games ain't on Game Pass, buddy. All your games are not from Game Pass.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait, I think that there might be a possibility that Stalker might drop. I really do.
I do.
I just want Forza.
They moved to the Czech Republic, and they're back in. That was what, months ago? It was at the beginning of last month, or it was 2 months ago, and they were saying that they were in the Czech Republic, back into development. I mean, that game, I don't think it was slated to come out at the beginning of this year. So, I mean, we're still in the the first quarter. So I mean, what if this game?
I have a delay up until the spring or something like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, like
when they get all their assets back.
We'll see. I think
I'm happy that there's no date on it. I'll tell you that right
Thank
now.
you.
I will agree with that. Like, sorry, X-Men, I will agree with the point where you were saying that, like, that's where Xbox needs to stay at, because Fred and so many others, they jump on me and say, like, man, no, we need to know what's going on, and we need to have gameplay, and we need to have this, and we need to have a little, you know what I'm saying, have more detail. And I'm like, bro, we don't need to know if the game is not going to be ready. The only thing that we can do is, like, for instance, every year I'm going to say, talk about Killer Instinct 2. Like, that's going to be announced, right?
We hope.
The game is not ready. If it's not coming out in 2 or 3 years, I don't want to see any stuff for you showing a game. I mean, showing me a little thing, have the music pop up and say Killer Instinct 2, and the music and say Killer Instinct 2 development. That's all I need to see.
Yeah, like Outer Worlds, like the Outer Worlds thing. I thought that was hilarious.
Last year. Yeah, they did.
I thought that was hilarious. I was like, this is a perfect way to not really show the game, but get me excited.
Right.
That's the little story that they put up there. Yeah, that was cool, though.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. And I seen Curie talking about that too in the chat as well. I'm 100% with her, is that we all got a backlog, and there's so many games that's going to be coming out this year. So it's like, come on, man. Like, I mean, why do we need to know? That's another problem that I have, is that every time that we get into this point where if Xbox do something that people don't like, that we got to go into the doom and gloom, and then, oh, Xbox got to show and prove now. Oh my God, they better have a good E3, or they better have a good event.
Why wouldn't you want to think that, though? Like I'm gonna push back on you on this one right here. Why wouldn't I want to think that way?
Because
I mean, that's the way they kind of been. That's the way they kind of been rolling this stuff out. Is like they pretty much hold their cards until 1 or 2 big events a year, and so the way they kind of raise their customer is to be all or nothing, kind of. Yes, sir.
No. People in the chat,
sir.
I know you're gonna be on my side with this one. The last couple of Xbox, I think the last 2 Xbox events were good.
They were fantastic.
Right.
I like the one the year before that too. That was
right. Well, that was to me the weakest one in 2019. That was the weakest one.
But it was better than their previous ones before that.
No, 2018 was the GOAT. 2017, 2018. 2017 was good. 2018 was the GOAT. That's the thing to me. Like, 2018 was the GOAT, and then 2019 was kind of was good. It wasn't the best, but it was good.
But you saw the progress they were making compared to their
right,
other
because
ones.
you know what I'm saying, because what they did, and then the last 2 years they've been solid. I don't see them, you know, but that's the problem that I have. That's the problem I have, is that every time that something like this happens to where everything is overblown, then they go to that. Like, oh, they better have a good. They always do have a good show. You got to tell me a time when Xbox has not had a good showing. Like, 2019 was probably the weakest, but it still was a good showing.
I think what we mean by that, like if I'm gonna go ahead and put myself in this group that I feel like you're kind of throwing me in right now.
You in that group, sucker.
Sure. I'll go on ahead and I'll own that. I'll lean into it. In fact,
lean into it. Walk
yeah. So if you're gonna go on ahead and generalize me as doom and gloom, I'm gonna go on ahead and say it ain't as deep as doom and gloom as much as it is. Like we just got done talking about.
Super chat.
Okay, all right. Let me hit this super chat.
And next topic.
Okay, all right. Damn, you ready to go? What you got to do?
I'm ready to go to the next topic, dude.
Oh, okay, what, you ready to go to bed, sucker?
Nah, bro.
Is your graham cracker and milk ready for you? Are you ready to go to bed?
But that shit sound good right about now. Shit.
A graham cracker and milk? Yeah, some milk sounds good. Anyway. Dragonheart Yobi, man, appreciate it, brother. You got the blue color. He said, I've said this before and I'll say it again. been saying this for a couple of years. This gen is the generation of delays. We all have backlogs, and the people who making the most noise about this, they have a huge backlog. Yes, everybody.
I don't understand what that has to do with anything. What's that have to do with anything, though?
Okay, but that's okay. So this.
What's that have to do? What you're trying to tell me is, hey, yo, we're gonna keep telling you bullshit because you got shit. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I just don't agree with that. Like, I just don't understand how it feels like we're just giving excuses for what has been told by the company itself is wrong. Okay. Like what? Like I don't understand.
Okay, okay. So let me just explain this. We have all gotten. There's delays with everything. That's the problem.
Oh my God! Another excuse.
Well, no, it's not. Listen, we are not developers. That's the whole thing, though. Like when I sit there and I talk to Don.
Sometimes I feel like they ain't.
I'm also not a chef. I'm also not a chef, K Mega. I'm also not a chef.
I got you, but this is the thing, though. If gamers out here are going to demand no crunch, and if gamers demand that they have their creative freedoms, and gamers are telling that they don't want games to be coming out broken like they have been, then what do you think is going to happen? And on top of that, yes, the pandemic is real. You can't tell me, oh, the pandemic is not an excuse. Some people can say that it's not, but you don't know what every company has gone through. You have not understood because you know why? Everybody, and I understand that there are some companies that use it as a point because it's the go-to.
It gives them an excuse, a goat.
You know what I'm saying? But it is widespread, and usually when these games take forever to make, and then when they all of a sudden are supposed to be slated to come out, and then they don't, and then they get pushed back, or then they get pushed back again, the biggest problem is the publishers always forcing these developers to make these games at a certain point so they can make the money at the point where they, make this money. It's not working. It's just not working that way. And so, I mean, everything is just changing and evolving. There's more rights that's going to be coming to these developers out here. I mean, we have seen everything from when the crazy stuff that happened with Naughty Dog to Riot Games to the stuff with the studio, Undead Labs. There has been so much stuff, and especially with the crazy stuff with Activision. So it's like there's with everything. It's not just with the companies themselves. It's with everything. With the gaming, the whole gaming spectrum is just been completely it's just evolving right before our eyes. And we as gamers are so used to things being a certain way, and I don't think this generation anything is going to be normal.
But who says it's evolving for the better? That's the problem.
Well, I mean, that's something that you can debate about. I don't know if it's going to be for the best or not, but it's going to be definitely it's changing right before our eyes. So I don't know. Anybody else have anything else they want to say on this? Before we get
nope. Next topic.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
I'm good.
Ready for? Oh shit! Okay.
Boy, you crazy, man. You crazy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see. Now y'all made me throw my phone down. Like, yeah, about to.
Hey, G, how you doing, young lady? Oh shit!
All right. Here we go. Okay. So, does Xbox has a DRM problem? And so it's a two-part question. So I'll just start it with that. So, does Xbox has a DRM problem? And then I'll ask you guys the second question. I'll go.
D.
No, I'm going to go to that last. I was going to go to you first, sir.
No, I'm cool. I'll skip my turn.
You want to listen to what everybody else got to say, sucker?
Okay, no, I actually want to hear D on this one. I really do, actually.
Okay, so all right, D. So, what do you think? Like, I mean, I don't know if you had your Xbox go down this past week. I don't know, and if it did, how long did it go down? And do you think that this DRM thing, because the people start talking about it again, is this a problematic situation that's only going on with Xbox? What do you think?
I don't have enough information or insight on it to speak confidently. I can speak on my experience. My Xbox did not go down last week, and I was barely on my system because last weekend was a hard one for me. So I was barely on it. But of the time that I was, I didn't notice. I didn't know how widespread it was. I didn't know how long it took place because I was barely on social media last weekend and I was barely on my Xbox. So those two factors again kind of took me out of the equation. But I will say there have been times before I got my new internet that I didn't know that my system was not connected, and I was still able to play games that I did not own while offline. Specifically Forza Horizon 5. I did not know I was playing offline until I tried to do something that required connection, and it told me that I was not connected to Xbox Live. So I didn't have much experience with whatever the issue was because my system was working. But of course, that does not negate anybody else's experience just because it was not my experience.
Okay. Point. Sir X-Man, now you heard what you got to say. Now it's your turn, sucker.
Yeah, that was the day that I got my Xbox One X, and I thought there was a problem with my new Xbox. And then once I got everything resolved and settled, I was able to play my game. I just couldn't go to the store and buy anything because the store was down. I didn't even try Cloud Play that day or nothing like that. I was just trying to set my stuff up, get my games. My games were downloading fine that I previously had. Didn't have no issues with that. And when I got a game, I was playing it. And I even played Halo that day. I didn't have a problem with it. I honestly didn't. I heard about the problem other people were having, but I didn't have one. You just couldn't get into the stores and I guess some other things that I don't remember. I just happy I was setting it up, so I didn't really pay attention to it. But I didn't have a problem either.
Yobi said Series X, not 1X. Better with that.
I have a Series X, asshole. Oh yeah, and you people in the comments, stop messing with me about my age, damn it. Assholes.
Who was giving it to you about
y'all
your
all
age?
Still my friends, but y'all met Fahim and Yobi. The only one being nice, and Zinc. Sleepy, the only one being nice to me.
Oh my goodness. Oh, by all means, be nice to Sir X-Man until just be nice to him. He get after 10 o'clock, he gets a little tender. So
I don't get no goddamn tender, dude. I ain't fucking what's his name? What's his name on the next podcast?
Why are you talking like that?
Yobi always go at it. I ain't worried about Yobi,
I
man.
know. That's funny. Okay, so I do got to make a point before I go to Ham Solo. Listen, don't you ever talk bad about Kareem Shepard. Watch your mouth, sucker, C-Mac. Damn right. You say why Shepard look like K Mega? Because that is like my great grandbaby. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna look like me. That's that's him. That's Kareem Shepard, baby. My name gonna pass through the generations.
Oh God, Lord,
I'm gonna say to us.
Oh
Shout
God,
out to
no.
Barrett from Final Fantasy VII.
I need a drink right now for that one.
Say to us. All right, so Ham Solo. What do you think, man? Does Xbox got a DRM problem?
Oh man, I don't want to be all doom and gloom and ruin everybody's night.
Oh shit! Okay. Oh, what is this? What is this,
bro?
Ham Solo? What is this, man?
Hey, Hans, preach whatever you need to preach, man.
Oh man, I just don't want to hurt K Mega's feelings.
Oh my God, is that what? Okay.
It's not hard, dude. It's not hard.
Wow. Okay. All right. It doesn't. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? It doesn't matter who's on this panel. I'm always gonna get it. Somebody's gonna always give it to me. So it's just what it is, man. The GRG.
Gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you.
Give me grief. Anyway, go ahead, Ham Solo.
Yeah, you gotta give him that little. You got hit him with that DMX. Boy.
Oh,
all right. but yeah, they have a DRM problem for sure. I mean, we were talking about it on my show Bullsitting earlier with Loke and Cozy. Like Loke said, every console except for like maybe one out there I don't even know the name of off the top of my head. Has DRM, but not all of them exercise it the exact same way. So I would say that, yes, if people were having issues playing games that they bought, it's a problem. And that is really all that needs to be said. Like, people want to make it difficult. It's not a difficult thought process. I can't play the game I bought. That's a problem. Done.
You don't have a problem with your home Xbox though. It's and games that you legitimately own. That you'll never have that problem. Yeah.
I'm going to respectfully disagree, but I got to ask this second question to everybody. So I'm going to go back to D on this one, and then I'm going to stick with you, Ham Solo, on the back. So what is the value of owning physical games these days? Since if you feel that Xbox has an issue, what's the value of physical games?
Not that valuable, to be honest, because half the time, because with Xbox, like specifically, like you got a Halo disc. Great. Now connect to the internet, please.
Authentication.
Yep. So yeah, I got a physical piece of it, but really I kind of just have something to touch. I don't really have the game. and so I mean that kind of goes back into it's a problem. But at the same time, like, I don't know how they could go about fixing it. I know for a lot of Sony's single player games, they don't have that issue. It's just a very select handful of games. Like I said, it's a handful of games that have.
He had.
Well, good God. Yeah. So
own those games.
So that's definitely. I feel like I'm kind of putting this in a different category, but maybe it's the same. If this is the same category, then DRM is just terrible across the board. Like, I'm not trying to cap for PlayStation at all, because I think PlayStation's super money hungry and I don't like it. But as for, I mean, yeah, what happened to D was ferocious. So yeah, I mean, if this falls under that same category, then DRM is just terrible all across the board. But
it doesn't.
But I don't think so.
But it doesn't fall under that. And the reason why I say it doesn't fall under that is because Sony, unfortunately, to kind of what's the word, to confirm what you just said, they are money hungry. I can still access my games on my PS4, but I cannot utilize the store. I cannot even log in. Whereas I had a ban on Xbox recently.
Really?
Yeah. Accidentally, I had a ban on Xbox, and I still had access. I could still log in. I could still go to the store. I could still do all of those things, even though I was banned. Sony's banning and suspension process, you cannot even log into your account.
Ooh.
So that's the difference. Sony says if you want your account back, click this link and buy a PlayStation card to pay us, and then we'll restore your account. So it's not the
What?
same. Yeah, I can't. I told you they're holding
Even though you
that.
previously paid.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can't even log into that account. So if I go to log in, it says this account is banned, or suspended. So I can't even log in. The system has the games on it, but if I want to go to my download list, if I want to play games that require internet, which my PSP games, my PS1 games apparently have an internet verification process. I cannot play those because you have to log in to do verification, and I'm banned from logging in. So at least Xbox came to me and was like, here's your banning, don't do it again. Here's what you cannot do. And going to the store was never on that list.
I've had
I
friends that were banned, and I was still able to at least party chat with them. They couldn't do online games with me, but I could still talk to them through the band. They could still buy games through the band.
I could still do all those things. And they gave me, I could log into my Xbox account on my computer because I was actually at work when I found out. And they were like, there's a ban on your account. And I went to go look and I couldn't figure out what it was. I found out what it was. I uploaded a video of Cyberpunk to the cloud, and they thought it was real life nudity. The update for Cyberpunk bypasses, like, the computer thinks it's a real human, so I got banned for showing a love interest. I took a picture and it automatically uploaded to the cloud, so I was subject to the cloud regulations. So that's what happened.
All right,
but
so just
long story short,
and it wasn't nothing that big.
it was only for a day.
I had to go
that's
to
cool.
the if you guys, I don't know if you guys, you said you guys are looking at the chat, but I don't know if you're looking at the screen, but I had to go to the fact check web, and that's what I call this screen. And right here it says that DRM a tool that's been in PC markets is on PlayStation 5 as well. And
it's been on PC for a while.
But listen what I'm saying, it's on PC 5. So this means going forward, anything releasing a game, anyone releasing a game on the PS5 can make use of that technology to slow down pirates.
Wow.
But you don't think that they're not going to do it? Come on now. Sony ain't going to have them put it on there if they are just going to say, well, no, they don't want any. They're not. This is, everybody's done it. Like, I mean, everybody's doing it except maybe Nintendo might not be. I don't know.
Hold on.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I have to stop you there.
Okay.
This is my issue, and honestly, why I stopped going back and forth with people.
Okay.
And it kind of ties in. It may tie into what Ham is saying. The question was posed: does Xbox have a DRM problem? Right.
Right.
And just now, after you confirmed PS5, you said everybody's doing it. Does that negate the fact that Xbox has a DRM problem?
I literally said when I started the conversation that everybody has DRM.
Right,
I started the conversation saying that.
That's my point. Like, I mean, but I haven't got to my point yet. I haven't said anything yet. I just was going to clarify because I didn't know for sure. Because when Ham said it didn't, or it was Ham or Sir X-Man that said they didn't, I went and looked because I would swore that I seen that they did, and I just wanted to pull it up. That's all that was.
Who
wasn't
didn't?
me just saying, like, you know, that I was going to make that point, like, everything is using DRM, but, you know, it wasn't like I was just trying to say that no, Xbox is the only one and this is the PlayStation got to be everybody does. So yeah,
I've with the games I own, my internet was off for a while, and I've never had a DRM problem because I had my home console and I could play all the games that I had. I was getting the achievements and everything, and when my internet came back, It saw my progression, all my achievements unlocked just like that. So I never had that problem with Microsoft.
Well, I mean, it's there. I mean, it was always there for ever since that whole situation came out in 2013. So I mean, it's not. Yeah,
DRM was created because of the
pirating.
DRM from people putting music on, what was that, Pirate Bay and all the other things from Pirate Bay.
Well, the
That's
consoles, I
why
think,
DRM was created.
right, and you're probably right about that. But I remember when it was a big controversy when the GameCube did their own version by making those really small discs. Like, how
I
many
remember
people?
the disc.
Yeah, like how many people are going to try to buy these little discs and try to burn games onto these little discs? So
You could find those discs and burn them.
I'm sure you
People
could, but
did
I mean
that.
that was the first time that I ever heard about anything about pirating and anything like that. Now I did know about the mod chips and stuff like that. I've had
Oh,
mod
people
chips.
used to burn Dreamcast discs,
Oh yeah, no,
PlayStation discs,
I know all
even
about that. But I'm just saying.
Xbox One discs, and they would be perfect. It'd give you the DRM codes for it, and it would just work when you put it in the system. That's why they pretty much went to DRMs.
Okay, so Fahim says again, K Mega, why you just jumped to PlayStation? You just jumped to PlayStation. Ham Solo made a question, and so I went to make sure that I wasn't tripping because he said that it wasn't on PlayStation. So I'm like, hold on, I thought I read something a while back that said that they had DRM.
This is rare, but I actually have to agree with Fahim on this one, dude. Normally I don't, but this one I do.
Everybody has DRM. That's the whole point. But no, I mean, Xbox does have a DRM problem. There's no There's no issue about it. Like, I mean, it's an issue, but everybody has it. Maybe Nintendo. I don't know anything about Nintendo, what they got going. But
Okay, Meg, I gotta laugh though because other Zink in the chat thinks I'm a PlayStation fan.
Oh, other Zink don't play that shit. Other Zink, man, he don't play other Zink, man. Other Zink be sitting up there, man, like that man. He got that Xbox robe. He got them Xbox socks on. That brother ain't.
Tell him how long you been on Xbox Live. Prove it. Tell him.
That brother is the Xbox guru. Better watch how you talk to that man.
I've been on 18 years, and Hans is probably right around with me. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, like I put down PlayStation. I missed the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 generation because I was riding hard for Xbox. So that's why I'm so damn passionate today about the way Xbox moves and how they use their wording. Is because I rode with them and I was telling people I don't need a PlayStation. I don't need a PlayStation. I don't need a PlayStation. That whole generation. So yes, when something slips up and doesn't happen the way that I kind of foresee it, like I feel like I was kind of docile about Halo. I was like, well, at least I got something, and I was cool, even though a lot of people were mad about Halo. I was not tripping about it. But now it's got to the point where it's like, all right, Halo's had all these issues. I'm hearing all this stuff about the initiative. I'm hearing all this stuff about Everwild.
What are they making?
I'm hearing all this, and people are like, "Oh, you're being doom and gloom," and I'm like, "No, man, I'm just being, I'm letting you know how I feel about it."
Yeah, no, those are legit.
It is what it is.
Yeah, no, those are the initiative situation is a legitimate concern. At the Rare with Everwild, whoever's working, you know what I'm saying? I guess Rare is still working with Everwild. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a genuine concern, but like, you don't hear that there's no issues out there with Playground Games. You don't hear no issues going on with In Exile. You don't hear no issues going on with all the teams in Bethesda. I mean, so except the delays with the two studios that's going to be working on those two games, but I mean,
it happens.
It happens. And so, yeah, no, I was just only bringing up the doom and gloom aspect about this situation with the with the delay. That's it. I'm not saying that everything that you talk about is doom and
back
gloom.
to DRM.
No. The DRM situation is back to it. I was just about to go to it. I know, Sir X-Man, I know you're not trying to be one of those people that say, man, stick to topic. I know you ain't trying to be one of these
tripping right now, bro.
You must got me messed up tonight. I know
I
you
am
ain't trying to do
having
that,
so
dude.
much fun with you right now, K-Mac. And just enjoy the moment, man.
I am not
You know
mad
what?
at you.
Go
I'm
get
not mad
your
at you. I'm
bottle from
smiling
where
off the
you
whole
had
time.
it. Take a couple of sips, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pour some right in the cup right now and have a go sip. We at the end of the show, but I'm just saying.
Look,
He's lighting the chat
then he gonna
up,
fall
bro.
asleep and we can take over the show.
Okay, all right. So anyway, and Yobi, if you want to take that tough talk, man, come on, man. Let's play one of these fighters, man. I'll go ahead and I'll bust you open, man. I don't have no time for your lip today, Yobi. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Let's get it. The internet is on. Shit is working. I've gotten out of the prison of Windows Insider PC, so I'm free. So we can go ahead and do it. The only thing now my camera's messed up.
Oh, by the way, K-Mega, my son's loving Shadow Warriors 3, man.
Shadow Warriors 3?
He's ripping through. And that's a game that came out with no problems. None. None. And it came out on time, just when they said it was going to come out.
You're right.
I'm being real.
You're real. Okay, so my whole thing with the DRM situation, look, I was having problems for last week for about 2 hours. I do a home share with Xbox in the front room. So I took that off, and because I'm like I said, my wife don't really be playing games like that. So I took it off, and then I was just like, okay, because my son will go in there and he'll play Halo or something like that. He comes through, and then we'll play together or whatever. He doesn't come every day. I just took it off, and then I was back to playing games. So a lot of people, it just shows that a lot of people does the share thing. So the best thing to do is to like Xbox do this family deal thing, and then hopefully and some other stuff. I know that there was a patent that I read that they were going to look into this and try to do something else with offline and gaming and stuff like that. If I read some more stuff into it, then we'll see. But yeah, no, I mean every console except like I said, I don't know nothing about PlayStation, but yeah, PlayStation and Xbox definitely do. PC does it. It tripped me out because there was so many people on PC that came out was going against Xbox about DRM, but all of that shit on Steam was DRM. Now they do got an offline mode, but it's still they got to do that check. So it was kind of crazy to me to see that all those PC guys that was jumping against that, but they still support Steam.
Yo, K-Mega, I just gotta throw this out there real quick, and this is another pushback to you.
Oh my god! And I love it. Go ahead.
But it's just like, like what I find ironic is that Xbox themselves will say something is a problem, and then here we are on the podcast, and you're asking me if it's a problem, and I'm telling you yes, and you're like, but PlayStation, but PC. And I'm just like, bruh, it's a problem. Even if it's somebody else's problem too, it's still a problem.
All I want to do is be fair about the conversation. I'm not going to sit here and let anybody not give their complaints about Xbox.
You Xbox big brother.
You know what I'm saying? But you're right. Like, I'm Xbox big brother. Like, look, bro, I'm going to sit there.
That's cool.
You knock them out, tell them what they got to do, but I'm going to pick them back up, and then I'm going to let you know, look, man, these dudes over there across the street, they just as bad. But that's all right. See, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you call me a bot for that, but I'm always going to let people know.
See, I'm like Xbox's little angry brother. Yes, I am that exactly. Like
angry brother. I like that.
See, you're like the bro. Just be patient. Like I've lived through this kind of stuff already, and I'm like, fuck that. Kick in the door.
All right, guys. Does anybody else got anything they want to say about the DRM situation, or is that it?
I'm done with that.
Okay, all right, man.
That was fun.
That was fun. It was a great show. I think we're about to get the hell out of here. But you know what? Because last week the way that the show ended, it was so wild. My mic went out, and then
I thought it was perfect. Sir X-Men did a fantastic
Sir
exit.
X-Men sounded like garbage ass juice. I was just like,
That's
man,
only when I was imitating you, bro.
no. When you was imitating me, you sounded right.
Hey, Meg, if
But
that
anyway,
happens again, you're going to have to change your name to Sir X-Man Jr.
Shit, that ain't happening. Anyway, so we're gonna let D sign us out tonight. So D,
Who said that? Who said that?
I said that. We gonna do that.
No,
Thank you for
somebody,
hearing.
no, somebody
I
else
said
said
all
that.
hell K Mega, the master of deflection. Listen, son,
You said you was gonna let Han Solo do it at the beginning of the show. Why'd you stop?
Well, Solo said he wasn't gonna do it, so I said D got it. D got it tonight.
And I'm saying I'm not doing it.
What's
So.
the
There you go.
We can't let Sir X-Men do
No.
it again because it was so bad last week. I was losing my mind.
What that got to do with me?
Oh my God. So, okay, are you ready to do it next week? Will you be ready to do
I
it
didn't
next
do
week?
a bad job, did I, D?
You weren't
I'm
there.
not gonna lie. I was in bed early last week. I was
You was gone.
I was gone. Yeah, I was.
I knew it. That's why I went to let you do your outro first.
I to let you know that you was gonna do it, sucker, bastard.
Oh no, I'm good. Do your outro, bro. You missed last week. You got to make up for something.
Oh my God. See, you know what? This slander is so bad tonight. So bad. Anyway, all right. So D, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at Gingy's mom. That's basically it nowadays. I'll be in bed.
In bed, call me Gingy's bed.
Early.
You sound like you're going through what I
early.
used to go through, D. Life taking up my time of gaming right now, and I got to take care of the life business first.
Listen, it is whooping my ass. Like, I owe that bitch money. Like, I'm just so tired and depleted. Like, I've gone to bed like 10 o'clock every night this week. No gaming, just straight to bed.
Thank God it's Friday, right?
Thank God. I get
Yeah, only 72 hours, so I'm back at work.
Oh, are you off on Monday?
Oh, shit. 36 hours, 48 hours.
Your math is even messed up. You know you tired.
That girl about to go to bed.
I'm about to go to bed, but yeah, that's it. I'm on Twitter here and there.
Shout out to Robs. You know what I'm saying? We'll miss you. Hopefully, when you get some time, you'll come back and hang out. And shout out to Mitchie last week stepping in. You know what I'm saying? You can always count on Mitchie to come say what's up with us. You know, when we start talking about sports, you know, Mitchie gonna be down for that. That's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
Mitchie's
Green
a
Bay
big
Packers
fan of
suck.
sports. Yeah, talking about them dirty Packers. And but you know what? I will shout out to Milwaukee. I don't know if they won or lost tonight. I didn't pay attention because I was making sure that everything was going to be working tonight. But hope Milwaukee won, and if they didn't, damn it,
They lost.
That's going to be a tough game.
I'm just here to bring you bad news today.
I see. Hey,
D, I got a question real quick.
What, man? No, you got to.
Hey, what's part of her outro?
That's what you got to do.
No, I know. I just wonder, what game do you want to play that you have right now if you find some time?
To be honest, Guardians of the Galaxy, I bought it before it went to Game Pass. And I was like, ooh, this is going to be really good. I want to take my time with it. And I never picked it back up. So,
well, I hope you find the time to play that game.
Thank you. Me too, because it looks really great.
I was thinking about that too, but you know, jumped on Halo.
No, you jumped on Elden Ring.
Oh no, I uninstalled Elden Ring. It was turning almost to like it was heroin or something. Like I couldn't stop playing. I was like, I beat this game and I'm going through a second playthrough, like back to back. I ain't never done that before. Like I'm like, no, this game got to. And I was halfway through the second playthrough. I said, nah, bro, I gotta put this down. Uninstall. What is happening here? My wife was looking crazy because I played that from. I woke up at like 8:00 in the morning. Did the stuff I had to do. Come back. Came back. Take care of business. Come back that afternoon.
We remember.
I played it until 2:00 the next day. Didn't even go to sleep. My wife looked at me like, "You didn't even go to sleep?" I say, "No." She said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "I don't know." And I said, man, after that, I cut it off. And I said, I uninstall this shit. This shit, that's too much. That's too much. Like, I love gaming, but that was crazy. I was going bananas because I was having such a good
And
time
Solo,
killing my enemies.
where can they find you at?
Oh, hell no. No. You brought it up, so I had to explain.
Got him.
Ham Solo, where can they find you at, sucker?
And what you playing?
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Oh man, hell no.
Hey, you know your homeboy's coming on next week, so your crewmate from your
Which one?
the guy. I can't say his name.
Oh, Loke's coming on?
Yeah, Loke's
the
coming on
African
next
guy.
week. The African guy.
Yeah, Loke is coming on. That's dope. I'm excited because then you're gonna see an extra side of me. Because I'm gonna be talking the hell of shit to Loke.
Extra crispy. Extra.
It's gonna be crispy.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun. I look forward to it. I forgot to ask him about the trivia stuff. I definitely got to get some.
It's gonna be hotter than the Sierra sun. I'm telling you.
No. I like his swagger. He's you know, and I mean, wait.
Loke's my boy. That's my boy.
Well, where can we
But
find
anyways,
you at,
you can find me at HamSolo05 Gaming on Twitter. That's where I talk to people, and also that's where I connect with people to put on my show Behind Them Sticks, where it's like a creator feature where I talk to the creator about, you know, what got them into gaming, what they're excited about with gaming, what they don't like about gaming, and also a few random stuff on the side. So definitely check me out on Twitter if you want to get a hold of me to get on the show sometime. I'm definitely open. Absolutely, I'm open to suggestions. Right now, I'm about a month. I'm working about a month in advance. So like I have this entire month of May and about half of June done. So like that's how I like to book. I like to book my stuff ahead so you can be ready. I can be ready, and we're good to go. And as for the show itself, it's on They Said We Said YouTube channel, which is you'll just go to the search bar and type in TSWS Gaming. TSWS Gaming stands for They Said We Said. You'll see me, Loke, Cozy Beluga eating whatever the hell that she is eating.
She ate today. I was like,
I don't even know what it was. It was like some like grilled or smoked sardines, or today it was another week was pig's feet. Last week she didn't even know that pig's feet stuff was disgusting because it was straight out of the vinegar. So like it was gross. But yeah, TSWS Gaming is where you'll find that stuff. If you see the logo, it's like a world map pretty much. Type on it, hit subscribe, hit that bell, and it'll let you know when I'm going live. But other than that, I do another channel called The Game Drain that you can check me out on. But like, I'm not going to get into all this stuff. Just if you want to know where I'm at, just hit me up on Twitter and you'll see me post when I'm going live.
No doubt. Who's the last one? Sir X-Man?
Blah, 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 blah.
Sir X-Man, where can they find you at? Other than... Never mind.
Blah, 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 blah.
Where can they find you at?
GRG.
You sure?
Maybe. Well, for right now, next podcast on Thursdays. Right now I'm enjoying Shadow Warriors 3. I might start the game from the beginning. You know, I know I'm halfway in, and stream Shadow Warriors 3. That'll be on Sir X-Man 1 on Twitch. You can find me at Sir X-Man, just like it's spelled here, on Twitter and on Xbox Live. That's about it, everyone. Get your game on and have some fun with life. That's it.
No doubt. And Verge, I feel you, but you know what? I have to agree with my girl, Cosmos, because you know what? You know what I'm saying? Look, you know, the old GRG, yeah, we would go long and strong, but you know what? Sometimes we got to get out of here.
Oh, what are we,
early.
bleak and weak?
Tonight we bleak and weak.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
I feel like your shields might be bleak and weak. You just got because you got dragged all over the place.
Crazy, boy. I said,
even D got on your ass today.
You know what? D had to educate me, but you know what? I sent that ass to Hades tonight. You took it.
I was waiting for D to tell you, let it go, K-Mega.
Yes. He said Powerball Home PS1 was awesome. It was. PS1 was.
You're a fan. You're not supposed to be frustrated. You're just supposed to abide, obey, and take orders.
Sucker. Obey, sucker. Like V, like the great show V. Obey. And also, what was that movie with Roddy Piper? They live.
Yes, they live.
They live.
I love it. I own it digitally. I own the Blu-ray. I own the original disc, and I own the tape of
They Live was insane.
I love that movie.
He put those shades on, and he took them off. He was like, "Bro, what the fuck is going on?
What is going on, bro?" That's
real quick. Hey, Han Solo,
anyway.
hey, Megan, you guys gonna remember real quick? Yeah. I have the movie I Come in Peace with Dolph Lundgren.
That movie's whack. Anyway, all right.
That movie was awesome, dude. I love that movie.
As usual. I got to do it the right way. Listen, pandemic is still out there, but it's not as bad as it's been. You know what I'm saying? But going out, having a good time, you know, remember, self safe. Get out there and do that pants off, dance off. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, and everybody have a good one. Good night. Peace.
Hasta luego.
Bye.
It felt so good. It felt so good to whoop your ass, Ham Solo. It felt good. I didn't know what to do with myself with that.
Let it go, bro. Let it go.
Did you say that before you turned off?
Thanks for checking out the GRG podcast. All your gaming news and our special topic of the week. Make sure to join us every